We will proceed to numbers 11 to 25. Okay, let's have question number 11. Young people stand straight. Very old ones usually stoop. What's the reason? Okay, the correct answer here is letter D. Okay, the bones of the old have become weak and soft, and their joints become loose. So it has nothing to do with the gravitational pull or habit of stooping. Stooping, wala yon. So it has to do with the quality of the bones. Kaya nga, di ba, the more or the older we get, the more we need calcium. Next, question number 12. Continue checking. Nag-exchange papers kayo kanina, di ba? So, continue checking your classmates' paper. For question number 12, the possible interconnected feeding relationships. Ano yung keyword dito? Interconnected feeding relationships. The correct answer is... anong correct answer Sige, balikan natin. Yung iba kasi... joining. For a 5, letter C, hypothesis yon. 6, letter C. 7 is slate, letter B. And then number 8 is letter D. Number 9 is C. Ayan. And number 10 is letter D. Triple beam balance. All right. Keyword here is interconnected feeding relationship. So, food groups, go, grow, and glow yon. Mali. Food chain it's more of a linear relationship, di ba? Pag linear, isa lang. Pag food web, yan. Pag food web, ito na yung connection of multiple food chains. Because when we say food chain, it's a linear sequence of organisms which starts from producer and ends with decomposer. Diba? Alam na, tuloy natin yan dati. Yung plants as producers, and then we have herbivores, animals that eat plants, and then there will be predation, until the predator would die and get decomposed. So that's food chain. Pag interconnected na, marami ng kainan yan. So food web. Next, number 13. Billy is one student who tries his best to submit his laboratory reports, projects, and other requirements. O ano daw scientific attitude yon? Okay. Ang scientific attitude na yon ay responsibility. Kasi si Billy is responsible. Okay. Now, this is more of an application question. Halimbawa, sa inyong mga estudyante, yung patience as one of the characteristics or attitudes of a scientist. Paano mapapakita ng mga estudyante yung patience? Halimbawa, when they conduct laboratory experiments, they follow the sequence, hindi nila sino-shortcut. Ayan. So, patience yon. Okay, open-mindedness. How can a student shows open-mindedness in science class? Paano nila pinapakita yon? Na open-minded ang mga estudyante sa science class. If they are open to suggestions, if they are open to corrections, they can accept constructive criticism positively. So those are ways to show open-mindedness. Paano naman natin mapapakita na ang mga estudyante ay honest with reference to science experiments? Hindi minamanipulate yung data. Yung mga results ng experiments will be presented as it is. So that's honesty. Iba-ibang cases ang pwedeng i-provide or ipasok nila sa mga questions dyan. Next, process of breaking down rocks. Ang layo ng volcanism, okay, hindi pwedeng all of these or all of the above. What's the process of breaking down rocks? That is, yes, weathering. Kasi pag erosion, displacement lang. Yung rocks will be moved or the rocks will be moved from one place to another. Diba marami nga tayong mga agents ng erosion. Water, pwedeng agents ng erosion. Kapag, let's say, kapag bumabaha, diba? Malilipat yung lupa, pupunta sa mas mababang lugar, magla-landslide or erosion yon. So, water could be an agent of erosion. What else? Pwede din, yung wind could be agents of erosion, yung strong winds, di ba? Kahit paano nagkakaroon ng movement sa soil, sa rock. Okay, what else? Marami. Man can be an agent of erosion. But weathering, as the correct answer, refers to the decomposition of soil and their minerals in the rock through direct contact with Earth's atmosphere. Marami rin tayong mga agents. Just like in erosion, there are many agents of weathering. So it's the breaking down of rocks into pieces. Okay, number 15. The water part of the earth, this is very given. So tingnan natin. Letter C is the correct answer. Siyempre, kapag solid part, lithosphere yon. Kapag water part, hydrosphere. Kapag gases that surround the earth, okay, or its air, that's atmosphere. Kapag all life on earth, that is biosphere. So remember that, ha? Lithosphere, solid, hydrosphere, water, atmosphere, gases, and all life on earth, biosphere. Oh, number 16. Where do we trace the El Nino phenomenon? What's your answer? Correct answer is, ang correct answer natin dito, pagdating sa El Nino phenomenon, ay yung thinning or depletion of the ozone layer. Paano naging connected ang thinning of or depletion of the ozone layer sa El Nino? Let's start with El Nino. Ano ba yung El Nino? Anybody? What do we mean by El Nino? El Nino is the opposite of La Nina. Okay, kapag El Nino, drought yon, tagtuyot, dry season, walang ulan. La Nina naman is flooding. Okay, sobrang ulan that would lead to flooding. So, La Nina yon. Paano naging connected ang El Nino sa thinning and depletion of the ozone layer? Bakit ba tayo nagkakaroon ng drought? Okay, once the ozone layer is damaged, di ba? Nawawala ng protection ang Earth sa sun. Yung direct heat coming from the sun, okay, would cause greater evaporation. So pag masyadong mainit, evaporation would be faster than it used to be, than normal. So pag madaling mag-evaporate, nagkakaroon ng tagtuyot. So that's the connection. Thinning or depletion of the ozone layer. Okay. Ayan, magkakaroon ng warm phase correct would cause drought or tagtuyot. Okay, next, number 17. If a voltage of 100 volt produces a current of 5 amperes in an electrical device, what is the resistance? Parang overwhelmed. Ay, magkukompute. Anong sagot niyo dyan? Sige. Ang hinahanap natin ay resistance. The correct answer is 20 ohms. Paano ba natin nakuha yung 20? So let's talk about the Ohm's law. It is the relationship between the voltage, the current, and the resistance. It was developed by German physicist George Ohms, kaya siya ginamit as unit of measurement, who undertook many experiments to develop his theory, including measuring current by touching electrical circuits to see how much it hurts. So, the higher the current, the more it hurts. Paano natin kukunin? Madali lang. Kung ang kinukuha natin ay resistance, that would be voltage divided by current. So, that would be 100 volts divided by yung current na 5 amperes. So 100 divided by 5, that's why we get 20. Ngayon, paano kung ang hinahanap ay yung current? What is the formula? Voltage divided by resistance is equals to current. Ano yung voltage natin kanina? So 100 volts divided by 20 yung resistance, so there we have 5 amperes. Pag naman ang hinahanap natin ay voltage, current times resistance. So kanina, nalaman natin na ang current ay 5 amperes times 20 yung resistance. So there you have 100 volts. So as simple as that lang. Okay, voltage, current times resistance. Pag current naman, voltage divided by resistance. Pag resistance naman, voltage divided by current. Remember that. Okay, next, number 18. Pag-asa announces the approach of the seasonal winds. The familiar names used are amihan and habagat. Ano ang international name ni amihan at habagat? What's your answer? Ayan. Yes, letter A yan. Si amihan, yung tinatawag natin northeast monsoon. Tapos, si southwest naman, si habagat. Northeast and amihan, northeast, habagat, southwest. Okay. Next, number 19. 11 to 16. Bakit? Ano nangyari? 11 to 16. Ang sagot sa number 11 ay letter D. Sa number 12 ay letter C. Sa number 13 ay letter C. Number 14, letter B, weathering. Number 15 is C, hydrosphere. Okay, number 16, letter D. Ayan. Depletion of the ozone layer. Ayan. Buti na lang. Ayan. They're taking down notes talaga. Okay. 17, letter B. And 18A. Okay. Let's continue with number 19 question. Which of the following sentences about greenhouse effect is incorrect? Letter A, greenhouse gases trap heat in the atmosphere which are returned to the Earth's surface. Yun ba? Correct answer is letter D. Greenhouse effect increases the overall temperature of the Earth. So, yan yung incorrect. The rest would be correct. Okay. 19D. Correct na greenhouse effect is important in maintaining the temperature of the Earth. It's also correct that the greenhouse effect is due to gases that absorb the green region of light from the sun. Ayan. Let's have more review about greenhouse effect. Greenhouse effect is a natural process that warms the Earth's surface. When the sun's energy reaches the Earth's atmosphere, some of it reflected back to space, and the rest is absorbed and radiated by greenhouse gases. So ano-ano ba yung mga greenhouse gases na yon? Water vapor, carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, ozone, and some artificial chemicals such as CFCs or chlorofluorocarbons. The absorbed energy warms the atmosphere and the surface of the Earth. This maintains the Earth's temperature at around 33 degrees Celsius, warmer than it would otherwise be, allowing life on Earth to exist. Okay. Yung enhanced greenhouse effect, the problem we now face is that human activities, particularly burning fossil fuels like coal, oil, and natural gas, agriculture, and land clearing are increasing the concentration of greenhouse gases. This is the enhanced greenhouse effect, which is contributing to warming of the Earth. Kaya meron tayong global warming. Okay, next, number 20. Acid rain occurs when? Okay. The correct answer here, letter C. Acid rain occurs when sulfur released in burning fossil fuels combined with water in the atmosphere. So acid rain, okay, sulfur, and then water in the atmosphere. Okay, number 21. Which of the following statements represents a physical change? Oh, anong tamang sagot dito? Letter D. Bakit physical change? Ano bang nangyari? Frozen mango juice melted and left standing at a room temperature of 30 for 30 minutes. Ano ba kasi yung physical at ano ba yung chemical change? Let's review. The change is just physical kapag there is just a change in the phase of matter. For example, from solid, naging liquid, from liquid, naging gas, or from liquid, naging solid. Halimbawa, Yung frozen mango juice, natunaw, frozen mango juice pa rin yon. Pareho lang, nagbago lang sila ng face. O for example, balik ta rin naman natin, yung tubig, ilagay niya sa fridge, sa freezer, would turn into ice, but still water. Pag chemical change, new substance is formed. Like in the case of letter A, an antacid tablet, ano yung na-form? Bubbles when dissolved in the water. Ito pa, a flashlight beam slowly gets dimmer. Ayan, di ba? Na-consume kasi yung energy dun sa battery ng flashlight. Say, yung battery ng sa battery ng flashlight, na-convert yung, nagkaroon ng heat, energy, ayan. Umilaw yung bulb, tapos napunde. Next, the lawn grows thicker every day because fertilizers were added into the soil. Okay, with the addition of the fertilizer, kumapal yung mga damo. So, a new substance is formed. Okay, may additional substance doon. Does A, B, and C are all chemical change? Ayan, ito na pala yung mga in-explain ko. So, mga chemical change could be combustion, pag nag-create ng fire, rotting, pag yung ating mga vegetables at saka mga fruits, okay, nabubulok na, rusting, ano yung additional na chemical doon or anong additional substance, ito yung rust. So, digestion din kasi may mga acid na involved when we are digesting. Okay, mga physical changes, yung melting, boiling, chopping, and yung shredding. Yung papel, kahit punit-punitin mo yan ng ilang piraso, papel pa din yun. Okay, number 22. Mimosa pudica, locally known as makahiya, is called as such because its leaflets tend to close. Okay? Ano daw yung organismal response daw doon? Ang correct answer dito ay thigmotropism. Ano ba yung thigmotropism? Marami tayo kasing klase ng mga tropism. Pero pag thigmotropism, that is in response to touch. A movement in which an organism moves or grows in response to touch or contact stimuli. Okay. Thigmotropism usually occurs when plants grow around the surface, such as wall, pot, or trellis, but could be a Venus flytrap. Ano yung ibang klase ng tropism? Pag in response to light, that's phototropism, kapag ang stimulus ay light. Kapag gravity, that's gravitropism. Kapag alam mo na yan. Pag chemicals, chemotropism. Pag water naman, ang stimulus, it's hydrotropism. Okay. Number 23. Fossils are most likely to be found in what kind of rock? Kanina, nabigyan ko na kayo ng review sa mga different kinds of rock. Saan daw yung fossils madalas ma-store? Correct answer is? Yes, letter C, sedimentary rocks. Diba? Ang dami nating mga klase ng sedimentary rocks na din-explain kanina. Yung slate, yung mga yon. Okay, hindi pwede yan sa igneous rock. Hindi ma-preserve ang fossils kapag igneous rocks. Okay, number 24. Which of the following causes the seasons? Okay, bakit pa sa ibang bansa, merong 4 seasons, tayo, 2 lang. Okay, ano yung reason doon? The correct answer here is letter D, the tilting of the Earth on its axis. Kasi yung distance of the Earth around the Sun, yung rotation ng Earth around the Sun, doon tayo nagkakaroon ng days and months and years, diba? Pero yung season, yung panahon, okay, tilting of the Earth on its axis. And lastly, for science, what kind of mirror is used in cars to give the driver a wider area and smaller image of the traffic behind him or her? A, double concave. B, convex. C, plane, or D, concave. Ano daw klase ng mirror yon? Gives the driver a wider area and smaller image of the traffic behind him. So that would be concave ba o convex? Correct answer is convex. Okay. Letter B. Ayan. So that ends science. Okay, pa-count naman ng number of correct answers. O, galing. Galing ni Sir Deo, 24/25. Alin yung mali mo, Sir Deo? Galing din ni Ma'am Gemma Liza. 24, one mistake lang. 20, yung number 20. Ano ba yung number 20 question? Okay. Sulfur acid rain. Mas magagaling kayo sa science and compared to English O ayan 23, 24. Siguro may naka 25, tahimik lang. Ayan. Hindi na ako magpapa-break as we proceed to Filipino. Anyway, mga taga-CPU Ilog yon, mga naka 25. O mga chill-chill lang yan. Susukat pa yan ng mga toga, pero naka-perfect. Kaya hindi na ako magpapa-break before we proceed to Filipino. Anyway, kaka-break lang naman natin. So we will continue na. Okay. We sharing another document, yung walang sagot. Okay. Ayan. Just like what we did in English and in science, we'll have 25 items. Yung mga wala pong pen and paper dyan, mga kadadating, okay, please have a pen and paper ready. Ayan. Magsagot. Okay. Saan ba yan? Alright. 23. Okay, tapos na tayo dyan. Eto, siguro sa Filipino, madaming makaka-perfect. Let's start with question number 1. Ready? Anong tayutay ang tinutukoy sa pahayag? Durog ang katawang na-excuse po muna trouble in bakit trouble in paradise? Ano yun? Ayan, ready. Figurative ba yun? Di makita. Ay, ayaw na naman yung yan na naman. Ayaw na naman yung ulit. Ayaw naman mag-next. Okay, sa akin nag-next na. Sige. We'll do the same way as I did earlier. Ayan. Anong tayutay ang tinutukoy sa pahayag? Durog ang katawang bumagsak semento si Miguel. A. Pagtulad. B. Pagbibigay katauhan. C. Pagmamalabis. D. Pagwawangis. Ulit. Anong tayutay ang tinutukoy sa pahayag? Durog ang katawang bumagsak sa semento si Miguel. A. Pagtutulad. B. Okay, wala mo nang magsasagot sa chat. Write the letter of the correct answer. Write the letter of the correct answer. Durog ang katawang bumagsak sa semento si Miguel. A. Pagtutulad. B. Pagbibigay katauhan. C. Pagwawangis or C. Pagmamalabis or D. Pagwawangis. Okay. Next, number 2. Ayaw niya mag-move, so I'll do it the same way. Magkaalas 5 na ng umaga nang magising siya. Ano ang tamang gamit ng nang at nang? Mag-aalas 5 na ng umaga nang magising siya. Okay? Next. Number 3. Ang paano ka lang inihain niya ay lubhang malalim at mahirap arukin. Anong ibig sabihin ng salitang arukin? Abutin, A. B. Unawain, C. Sukatin, D. Tanggalin. Ang paano ka lang inihain niya ay lubhang malalim at mahirap arukin. A. Abutin, B. Unawain, C. Sukatin, or D. Tanggalin. Ano ibig sabihin ng salitang arukin? Next. Question number 4. Ipinagmamalaki mo siya, bahag naman pala ang kanyang buntot. Ang ibig sabihin ng salitang may malaking titik ay A. Kuripot, B. Traidor, C. Duwag, D. Mahiyain. Sa pangalawang pagkakataon, ipinagmamalaki mo siya, bahag naman pala ang kanyang buntot. Ano ang ibig sabihin ng salitang may malaking titik? A. Kuripot, B. Traidor, C. Duwag, D. Mahiyain. Yan. Next. Number 5. Sabihin ang gawi ng pananalitang ito. Bawal tumawid, may namatay na dito. A. Pananakot, B. Pagtukoy, C. Babala, D. Paalaala. Sabihin ang gawin ng pananalitang ito. Bawal tumawid, may namatay na dito. A. Pananakot, B. Pagtukoy, C. Babala, D. Paalala. Next question, number 6. Sa aling salita, magkakaroon ng saglit na paghinto kung pinagpipilitang si Rose ang nakabasag ng pinggan. Hindi ko babasahin. Mamaya na lang pag-checking. Sa aling salita, magkakaroon ng saglit na paghinto, pausing, kung pinagpipilitang si Rose ang nakabasag ng pinggan. O, basahin nyo na lang. Tapos tingnan natin kung anong tamang sagot later. Next, number 7. Ang gintong panahon ng mga manunulat noong panahon ng Amerikano ay batid sa uring A. Sanaysay, B. Nobela, C. Panulaan, D. Maikling kwento. Ang gintong panahon ng mga manunulat noong panahon ng Amerikano ay batid sa uring A. Sanaysay, B. Nobela, C. Panulaan, or D. Maikling kwento. Gintong panahon ng mga manunulat ng sanaysay, nobela, panulaan, o maikling kwento ang panahon ng mga Amerikano. Next, number 8. Alin sa mga sumusunod ang may wastong gamit ng tinig ng pandiwa? A. Ang hinog na papaya na kinuha sa puno ni Marie. B. Kinuha ni Marie ang hinog na papaya sa puno. C. Kinuha sa puno ang hinog na papaya ni Marie. Letter D. Papayang hinog ang kinuha sa puno ni Marie. A, B, C, or D? O, yung voice ng verb. Next, number 9. Ang sentro ng pagdiriwang ng sentenaryo ay sa Kawit, Cavite. Ang kasing kahulugan ng salitang nasa malalaking letra ay A. Ika-50 taon, B. Panghabang panahon, C. 100 taon, or D. Ika-25 taon. Ang sentro ng pagdiriwang ng sentenaryo ay sa Kawit Cavite. Ang kasing kahulugan ng salitang nasa malaking letra ay A. Ika-50 taon, B. Panghabang panahon, C. 100 taon, or letter D. Ika-25 taon. Question number 10. Maliit ang sisidlan ni Dian, kaya iniiwasan siyang tuksohin ng mga kasama. Ano ang ibig sabihin nito? Yung maliit ang sisidlan. Ay, teka lang. Pala nag-play sa inyo. Ayan. Ano ibig sabihin ng maliit ang sisidlan? A. Walang pasensya. B. Walang pagtitimpi. C. Walang galang, or D. Walang lakas ng loob. Maliit ang sisidlan ni Dian, kaya iniiwasan siyang tuksohin ng mga kasama. A. Walang pasensya. B. Walang pagtitimpi. C. Walang galang. D. Walang lakas ng loob. That's for number 10. For number 11, the question is, alin sa mga sumusunod ang hindi nagbibilang sa nakasing kahulugan ng salitang palapalagay? Alin sa mga sumusunod ang hindi nabibilang nakasing kahulugan ng salitang palapalagay? Hindi nabibilang. A. Opinyon. B. Kuro-kuro. C. Paniniwala. D. Akala. Okay, next, question number 12. Ang wikang Filipino ay hawig sa mga wika sa Asya. Alin dito ang pinagmula ng wikang Filipino? A. Bahasa. Bakit? Balik tayo sa 7 and 8. Tapusin ko lang to. Ang wikang Filipino ay hawig sa mga wika sa Asya. Alin dito ang pinagmula ng wikang Filipino? A. Bahasa. Sorry, that's B. Nihongo. C. Mandarin. D. Malayo-Polinesyo. Ang wikang Filipino ay hawig sa mga wika sa Asya. Alin dito ang pinagmula ng wikang Filipino? A. Bahasa. B. Nihongo. C. Mandarin, or D. Malayo-Polinesyo. Mamaya tayo babalik sa mga first part. Next. Kami ang kabataang siyang magiging pag-asa ng bayan. Paano ginamit ang salitang may salungguhit? A. Pagtukoy, pantukoy. B. Pagpuri. C. Panghalip, or D. Pagmamalaki. Again, kami ang kabataang siyang magiging pag-asa ng bayan. Paano ginamit ang salitang may salungguhit? A. Pantukoy. B. Pagpuri. C. Panghalip. D. Pagmamalaki. Next, number 14. Pinakamahalagang nobelang Pilipino sa maraming taon na nailimbag noong 1906 at tumatalakay ng masinsinan sa paksang puhunan laban sa paggawa at sa mga sosyalismo ang A. Luha at Buwaya. B. Banaag at Sikat. C. Ibong Mandaragit, o D. Panggigera. Pinakamahalagang nobelang Pilipino sa maraming taon na nailimbag noong 1906 at tumatalakay ng masinsinan sa mga paksang puhunan laban sa paggawa at sosyalismo ang A. Luha ng Buwaya. B. Banaag at Sikat. C. Ibong Mandaragit, at D. Panggigera. Number 14 yon. Ito ni number 15. Nasa anong kaganapan ng pandiwa ang pangusap? Ito yung pangusap. Naglaro ng basketball sa Rizal Stadium ang kupunan ng aming pamantasan. A. Sanhi. Oops. Di nag-move. Okay. Ayan. Okay. Naglaro ng basketball sa Rizal Stadium ang kupunan ng aming pamantasan. Ano daw ang kaganapan ng pandiwa? A. Sanhi. B. Tagaganap. C. Kaganapan. D. Ganapan. Naglaro ng basketball sa Rizal Stadium ang kupunan ng aming pamantasan. Ano ba yung naglaro doon? Sanhi, tagaganap, kagamitan, ganapan. Anong ganapan ng pandiwa? Okay. Next, number 20. Number 16. Number 16. Anong bahagi, part of speech, ng pananalita ang nasa malaking titik? Mahalaga ang pag-ehersisyo at pagkain ng gulay upang mapalakas ang ating katawan. Ulit, anong bahagi ng pananalita ang nasa malaking titik? Mahalaga ang pag-ehersisyo at pagkain ng gulay upang mapalakas ang ating katawan. Yun ba ay A. Pantukoy, B. Pangukol, C. Panghalip, D. Pangatnig. Number 17. Question is, si Ana at Adrian ay masisipag na mag-aaral. Ano ang mali sa pangusap? A. C. B. At C. Masisipag. D. Mag-aaral. E. Walang mali. Ulit, si Ana at si Adrian ay masisipag na mag-aaral. Ano ang mali sa pangusap? Identifying sentence error pa din to. A. C. B. A. C. Masisipag. D. Mag-aaral. Or letter E. Walang mali sa pangusap. That is number 17. Here's number 18. Ano ang pinakamatandang sistema ng pagsulat sa Pilipinas? A. Abacada. B. Alpabetong Romano. C. Alibata. D. Balitaw. Ano ang pinakamatandang sistema ng pagsulat sa Pilipinas? A. Abacada. B. Alpabetong Romano. C. Alibata. D. Balitaw. Okay. For your number 19 question, ang aking pag-ibig ay tanging sa iyo lamang. Ibigay ang ayos ng pangungusap na ito. Ang aking pag-ibig ay tanging sa iyo lamang. Ibigay ang ayos ng pangungusap na ito. A. Payak. B. Tambalan. C. Karaniwan. D. Di karaniwan. Ang aking pag-ibig ay tanging sa iyo lamang. Ibigay ang ayos ng pangungusap na ito. A. Payak. B. Tambalan. C. Karaniwan. D. Di karaniwan. Okay? Next. Ay, mag-move. Nagtaksil si Adrian. Ibigay ang ayos ng pangusap. A. Payak. B. Tambalan. C. Karaniwan. D. Di karaniwan. Nagtaksil si Adrian. Ibigay ang ayos ng pangusap na ito. Payak, tambalan, karaniwan, o di karaniwan. Okay? Next item, number 21. Ito ay ang pag-aaral ng makabuluhang tunog ng isang wika. Ito ay pag-aaral ng makabuluhang tunog ng isang wika. A. Phonolohiya. B. Morpholohiya. C. Syntax. O D. Palabuan. In-explain ko na to kanina, pa rin English. Ito ang pag-aaral ng makabuluhang tunog sa isang wika. A. Phonolohiya. B. Morpholohiya. C. Syntax or D. Palabuuan. Next, number 22. Isang awiting bayan na tungkol sa pakikipagkaibigan ang A. Sambutani. B. Salagintok. C. Daeleng. D. Uyayi. Isang awiting bayan na tungkol sa pakikipagkaibigan ang A. Sambutani. D. Salagintok. C. Daeleng. Or D. Uyayi. Awiting bayan ukol sa pakikipagkaibigan. Number 23. Siya ay si Dolores Manapat. Sino? Okay. Ayan. Sino sa mga ito ang gumamit ng Dolores Manapat sa kanyang panulat? A. Graciano Lopez Haina. B. NVM Gonzalez. C. Andres Bonifacio or D. Marcelo H. Del Pilar. Siya ay si Dolores Manapat. Yun ang kanyang pen name. And that is Graciano Lopez Haina, NVM Gonzalez, Andres Bonifacio, or Marcelo H. Del Pilar. Number 24. Last two. Ilang titik ang hiniram ng alpabetong Filipino mula sa alpabetong Ingles? A. 6, B. 7, C. 8, D. 9. Ulit. Ilang titik ang hiniram ng alpabetong Filipino mula sa alpabetong Ingles? A. 6, B. 7, C. 8, D. 9. And for the last item, for Filipino, ano ang tawag sa mga titik batay sa bigkas ng Ingles? A. Alivata or baybayin. B. Alpabetong Filipino. C. Alpabetong Romano. Or D. Alpabetong Filipino. Ano ang tawag sa mga titik batay sa bigkas ng Ingles? A. Alivata or baybayin. B. Alpabetong Filipino. C. Alpabetong Romano. D. Alpabetong Filipino. Okay. That's the last item for Filipino. Ayan. Exchange papers. Exchange papers. Okay, check natin yung Filipino. Oh, bakit nandoon? Give me a while. Ayan. Can you give me 2 minutes? Mabilis lang. Sandali lang. Ayan. Working na. Ayan. Let's check exchange papers na. Tignan natin. Number 1. Ano ba yung tayutay? Figures of speech. Okay. Ano yung tayutay dito? Durog ang katawang bumagsak sa simento. Yan ay pagmamalabis. Ano ang pagmamalabis sa English? Yes, correct answer is letter C. Ano ba yung pagmamalabis sa English? Kanina, ayan, hyperbole. Okay. Let's review yung mga iba't ibang klase ng tayutay. Pagsimile, direct comparison. Pagtutulad. Okay, comparison using like and as. Hindi naman like and as, of course, sa Filipino, ang ginagamit natin ay tulad ng, gaya ng, para ng, kawangis ng. Simile yun. Okay, again, maituturing lang nating tayutay yon kapag ang pinagkukumpara natin ay dalawang magkaibang bagay or bagay sa tao, tao sa hayop, ganon. Kapag tao sa tao, pinagkukumpara natin, then bagay sa bagay, hindi yun tayutay. Literal ang kahulugan noon. So, simile yun, pag pagwawangis, direct comparison. Hindi na gumagamit ng mga salitang gaya ng pagtutulad. Pagmamalabis ay hyperbole, alam niyo na yan, exaggeration. Okay. Pagdidikay katauhan is personification, naintindihan niyo na yun sa Filipino, pagsasali ng katangian ng tao sa mga bagay, may buhay man o wala. Yung metonymy, pagpapalit tawag, mahabang pangusap na isang salita lamang ang katumbas at pagpapalit saklaw, that is synecdoche, maaari dito banggitin ang bahagi, di ba? A part represents the whole. So that's synecdoche, pagpapalit saklaw. Okay, number 2. Mag-aalasing ko na ng, okay, anong tamang sagot? A, B, C, or D? Letter, ayan. Yung una, maikling nang, yung pangalawa, mahabang nang. Ano ba kasi yung gamit? Lagi itong tatanungin. Laging tinatanong. Mga isang item yon. For sure, ito ang tanong. Okay. Kailan natin ginagamit yung mahaba na nang? Ang mahaba na nang ay pwedeng pamalit sa salitang noong. Okay, for example, nang isilang ka sa mundong ito, instead of saying, noong isilang ka sa mundong ito, yung mahabang nang na lang. O ano pa? Wala na raw pagkain nang dumating ako sa handaan. O wala na raw pagkain noong dumating ako sa handaan. Okay. Pwede rin ang salitang nang pamalit sa salitang para at upang. Halimbawa, maligo kang maigi nang bumango-bango ka naman. O, instead na say na maligo kang maigi upang o para bumango-bango ka naman. Halina tumaya sa loto nang or upang yumaman tayo. Pwede rin to, ina-add natin para mas masarap bigkasin instead na ang gagamitin. So, pwede na pumasok, di ba, ang sagwa pakinggan. Okay. Instead, we say, pwede nang pumasok. Okay. Ang mamatay na dahil sa'yo. Okay. Ang mamatay nang dahil sa'yo, long NG. Or, pwede siyang gamitin katabi ng salitang maaga or early. For example, uuwi ako ng maaga or dumating ka ng maaga. Okay, to recap, kailan natin ginagamit yung mahabang ng, pamalit sa salitang noong, parang, upang, okay, para masarap bigasin yung na, at basta katabi yung salitang maaga. Yun namang maikling ng, basic, kapag kasunod ng petsa, for example, gumising ako tuwing 7 ng umaga. Or, sinasagot ang tanong na kailan. Kapag sinasagot natin yung tanong na kailan umuwi si Ben? Umuwi ng umaga. Umuwi ng tanghali. Or, pwede siyang pamalit, or pwede siyang pangkonekta sa mga salitang may ubod ng, puno ng, at saksakan na. Halimbawa, ubod ng ganda ang bulaklak na ito. Puno ng kasamaan si Selena. Yun. Saksakan ng gwapo ni Coco. Ayan. Na at nang. Next. Ang panukalang inihain niya ay lubang mahirap arukin. Anong ibig sabihin ng mahirap arukin? Ibig sabihin na to ay, yes, mahirap unawain. So letter B is the correct answer. Next, ipinagmamalaki mo siya, bahag naman pala ang kanyang buntot. Itong bahag ng buntot ay isang uri ng ano? Anong tawag natin dito? Bahag ng buntot. Bahag naman ang buntot. Yes, ang correct answer dito ay duwag. Yes, ito ay idioma or idiomatikong pahayag. Idioma, idiomatikong pahayag. Okay, next one. Okay. For the next one, sabihin ang gawin ng pananalitang ito. Bawal tumawid. Ano to? Ito ay uri ng hindi to pananakot. Kung pananakot to, paano to? Mamamatay ka kapag tumawid ka dito. Ganon. Pagtukoy. Ano pa? Paalala. Kung paalala yon, yun ay simple lang. Bawal tumawid. Ang pagtawid dito ay bawal. Ganun lang. Ito ay isang uri ng babala. Ayan. Kasi merong posibleng consequence. Next, number 6. Hindi ko to binasa kanina. Sino ang babasa? Sa aling salita magkakaroon ng saglit na paghinto kung pinagpipiliang si Rose ang nakabasag ng pinggan? Can I ask someone to read this? Yun mga nasa bahay. Sino bang pwedeng magbasa? Ayan, si Ma'am Marde Belin Dizon. Ma'am Marde Belin, pwedeng pakibasa? Anong sagot mo? Ang ipipilit natin ay si Rose ang nakabasag. So, alin dapat ang bigyan natin ng stress or diin? Ma'am Belin.
Yes po. Good afternoon po. Hindi.
Good afternoon.
Rose ang nakabasag ng pinggan.
Ayun, hindi. Si Rose ang nakabasag ng pinggan. Ayan. Ang hirap naman. May Lazada, nasa baba. Okay. Sir Deo, can you call a volunteer para basahin yung iba't ibang diin na to, Sir Deo? Kunin ko lang delivery, sandali lang. Ayan. So, kung pinagpipilitan natin na si Rose ang nakabasag ng pinggan, tama yung basa ni Ma'am Bilin. Alin ang merong diin? Dapat hindi. Hindi si Rose ang nakabasag ng pinggan. Kapag si Rose ang binigyan natin ng diin, pag si Rose ang binigyan natin ng diin, anong magiging outcome? Ano ang lalabas na mensahe? Nandiyan pa kayo? Hindi siya ang nakabasag ng pinggan. Sinong babasa ng ganon? Bigyan din nyo nga yung salitang Rose. Volunteer naman. Mga taga CPSU Maine. Sinong gusto ko Filipino major o kaya English major kasi may theater arts yan eh. Sino? Si Sir Moises Padilla. Sir Moises Padilla. Sana. Pabasa naman po. Walang makita, naka-off cam lahat. Ayan. Sino pong pwedeng bumasa? Kapag diniinan natin yung salitang rose, ano ang magiging effect? Hindi si Rose ang nakabasag ng pinggan. Ibig sabihin, ibang tao. Kapag yung nakabasag ang may diin, hindi si Rose ang nakabasag ng pinggan. Anong ibig sabihin nun? Oo. Mga, ano ba? Okay, mga nahihiya talaga ba? Kahit pala online, nahihiya pa din. Okay. Pag naman pinggan, hindi si Rose ang nakabasag ng pinggan, okay, ibig sabihin, pwedeng ibang bagay na basag. Okay, next. Let's have number 7. Ang gintong panahon ng mga manunulat noong panahon ng Amerikano ay batid sa uring, ano? Ang tamang sagot dito ay maikling kwento. Yan, that's the golden age of short stories. Yung mga panahon ng yung panahon ng Amerikano, golden age of short stories. That's letter D. Ayan. Number 7. Alin sa mga sumusunod ang may wastong gamit ng tinig ng pandiwa? A. Ang hinog na papaya na kinuha sa puno ni Marie. Tama ba yan? Mali. Bakit? Ang hinog na papaya na kinuha sa puno ni Marie. Di ba? Hindi na puno ng saging, yung puno ni Marie. Okay? O, pag naman, ang tamang sagot ay kinuha ni Marie ang hinog na papaya sa puno. Ayan ang pinaka maliwanag na pagpapahayag gamit ang pandiwa. Kasi pag sinabi natin, kinuha sa puno ang hinog na papaya ni Marie, parang parang double meaning yung papaya ni Marie. Papayang hinog ang kinuha sa puno ni Marie. Okay? Hindi masyadong clear as compared to letter B, kinuha ni Marie ang hinog na papaya sa puno. Okay. Number 9. Ang sentro ng pagdiriwang ng sentenaryo. Pag sinabi nating sentenaryo, ilang taon? Yan ay, yes, 100 taon. Centennial yan. Pag millennial, milenyo, ilang taon pag milenyo? Milenyo ay 1,000 taon. Okay. Maliit ang sisidlan ni Dian, kaya iniwasan siyang tuksohin. Idiomatikong pahayag pa rin ito. Pag sinabi nating maliit ang sisidlan, ibig sabihin nun ay walang pasensya. Okay. Next. Alin sa mga sumusunod ang hindi nabibilang na kasing kahulugan ng salitang palapalagay? Teka, mali yata yung pagkakaano ng cursor. Ang hindi ibig sabihin ng palapalagay dito ay letter C, paniniwala. Bakit? Kasi ang palapalagay, pwede yang opinion, okay, pwede din yang kuro-kuro, pwede din yang akala. Pero pag sinabi na kasi natin na paniniwala, belief na yon, hindi na yun palagay. Okay, mas malalim na yon. So correct answer here is letter C. Number 11. Ang wikang Filipino ay hawig sa mga wika sa Asia. Alin dito ang pinagmula ng wikang Filipino? Bahasa ba ni Hongo Mandarin? Himalayo Polynesio, di ba? Kasi isa sa ating mga ninuno, mga Malay. Okay. Next, number 13. Kami ang kabataang siyang magiging pag-asa ng bayan. Ang salitang kami. Okay, paano ginamit? Kami, ito ay okay, panghalip. Pronoun. Balikan nga natin yung mga iba't ibang parts of speech, ano yung mga katumbas niya sa Filipino. Pag noun, pangalan, ngalan ng tao, bagay, o alam niyo na yun, noun. Pag pronoun, panghalip. Pag adjective, pang-uri. Pag adverb, pang-abay. Pag interjection, padamdam. Pag preposition, pang-ukol. Pag verb, pandiwa. Pag article, pantukoy. Okay. Next, number 14. Pinakamahalagang nobelang Pilipino at sa maraming taon na nalimbag noong 1906. Ito ay tumatalakay ng masinsinan sa paksang puhunan laban sa paggawa at sosyalismo. Ang tamang dito ay sagot ay banaag at sikat yon. Tandaan ninyo, banaag at sikat. Number 15. Nasa anong kaganapan ng pandiwa ang pangusap? Naglalaro ng basketball sa Rizal Stadium. Ang kupunan ng aming pamantasan. Anong kaganapan niya? Ito ay ganapan. Bakit ganapan? Ano-ano ba yung mga kaganapan ng pandiwa? Pwede siyang kaganapang tagaganap, kaganapang layon, kaganapang tagatanggap, kaganapang ganapan, kaganapang kagamitan, direksyonal. At sanhi, isa-isahin natin. Okay. Ang kaganapan ng pandiwa ay bahagi ng panaguri or predicate na nagpapahayag ng ganap na kahulugan sa pandiwa. Kung ang focus ng pandiwa ay ang relasyon sa paksa, ang kaganapan ng pandiwa ay ang relasyon naman ng panaguri sa pandiwa. Okay, ano ba ang relasyon ng panaguri sa pandiwa or ng buong predicate sa pandiwa? Ano ba yung predicate dito ng basketball sa Rizal Stadium? Anong koneksyon noong pandiwa sa panaguri or sa predicate? Ito ay ganapan kasi sinasabi kung saan nagganap ang paglalaro ng basketball. Halimbawa, kaganapang tagaganap. Bahagi ng pangusap na gumaganap sa kilos na isinasaad ng pandiwa. Makikilala ito gamit ang mga pananda na ni at nang. Kapag may ni at nang, kaganapang tagaganap yon. Halimbawa, ikinalungkot ng Nino, kinalungkot ang pandiwa, kay nang ang sumunod. So, kinalungkot Nino ng mga Filipino ang pagkatalo ni Manny Pacquiao sa katunggaling si Antonio Margarito. So, yaan ay tagaganap. Kinakain Nino ni Liza ang champoradong gawa ni Nanay Huling. So, kinakain Nino, tagaganap. Kay kaganapang layo naman, bahagi ng panaguri ang nagsasaad ng bagay na tinutukoy o pinapahayag ng pandiwa. Halimbawa, ginagamit din ito ang panandang nang, pero sa ibang konteksto. Halimbawa, si Pedro ay bumibili ng bagong laptop. Bibili ng laptop. Nagpapamudmod siya ng salapi. Tandaan ninyo, pagkaganapang tagaganap, it answers the question who. Ang kasunod ng verb ay sasagot sa tanong na who. Kapag ganapang layon, ang kasunod ng verb ay sasagot sa tanong na what. Okay? Pagkaganapang tagatanggap naman, receiver of the action, bahagi ng panaguri na nagpapahayag kung sino ang makikinabang. Okay? Halimbawa, nagbigay ng donasyon ang pamilya Santos para sa mga sinalanta ng bagyong Juan. So, kapag ang predicate, okay, ay sasagot sa tanong na para sa, kaganapang tagatanggap yon. Pagkaganapang-ganapan naman, ang predicate ay sasagot sa tanong na where. Nanood ng palatuntunan. Saan? Sa silid-aralan. Pupunta kami. Saan pupunta? Sa Manila Zoo. Okay? Pagkagamitan naman, sinasagot ang tanong na nagsasaad ng anong bagay o kagamitan ang ginamit upang maisagawa ang kilos. Halimbawa, iginuhit niya ang larawan ni Mona Lisa sa pamamagitan ng ng Crayola. Or pinatay niya ang ahas gamit ang karit. Pag directional, bahagi ng pandiwa na nagsasaad ng direksyong isinasaad ng kilos na ipinapahayag ng pandiwa. Halimbawa, namasyal sila saan papunta sa Luneta buong maghapon. Nagsunog siya ng kilay sa silid-aralan. At kaganapang sanhi, kapag ang kasunod naman ng verb ay sumasagot sa tanong na why. Halimbawa, bahagi ng panaguri At halimbawa, nagwagi siya sa eleksyon dahil sa kabutihan ng kanyang puso. Ano pa? Okay. Nagtagumpay siya sa buhay dahil sa kanyang kasipagan. Okay? So, tandaan niyo lang, sa kaganapan ng pandiwa, nakadepende kung ano ang kadugtong ng pandiwa. Sumasagot ba to sa tanong na sino? Tagaganap. Sumasagot ba to sa tanong na saan? Ganapan. Sumasagot ba to sa tanong na sumasagot ba to sa tanong na ayan, na ano? Layon yon. Sumasagot ba sa tanong na para kanino? Tanggap. Okay? Sumasagot na sa tanong na bakit? Sanhi yun. Ayan. Anong ginamit? Kagamitan. Okay? Kaganapang kagamitan. Anong bahagi ng pananalita ang nasa malaking titik? At. Ano ba yung at? Hindi pa lang natin na-translate kanina yung ito. Pantukoy, alam na natin yan. Okay. Ang at ay, this is conjunction, and that is pangatnig. Ayan. Pag conjunction, pangatnig. Okay. Number 17. Si Anna at Adrian ay masisipag na mag-aaral. Anong mali? Letter A. Bakit siya mali? Kasi meron tayong dalawang simuno. Si Anna at Adrian. So, dapat ang gamitin ay sina. Sina Anna at Adrian. Instead, pag si, isa lang yon. Okay. Number 17. Ano ang pinakamatandang sistema ng panulat sa Pilipinas? Alam na alam niyo yan. Anong pinakamatandang sistema ng panulat? Correct answer is letter C, alibata. Okay. Number 19. Ang aking pag-ibig ay tanging sa iyo lamang. Ibigay ang ayos ng pangusap na ito. Ang aking pag-ibig ay tanging sa iyo lamang. Anong ayos? Payak, tambalan, karaniwan, o di karaniwan? Okay. Correct answer ay di karaniwan. Bakit di karaniwan? Pag karaniwang ayos, ayun, kasi merong ay, tama. Pag karaniwang ayos, ang pangusap kapag nauuna ang panaguri at hindi lantad ang pangdiwang ay. Kapag lantad ang pangdiwang ay, di karaniwang ayos yon. Lantad ba ang pandiwang ay? Oo, ang pag-ibig, ang aking pag-ibig ay tanging sa iyo. O yan. Di karaniwan yan. O ito naman, nagtaksil si Adrian. Ibigay ang ayos ng pangusap na ito. Nagtaksil si Adrian. The correct answer is A. Correct answer here is karaniwan. Ayan, di ba? Hindi lantad ang salitang ay, karaniwan. Ano naman yung payak at tambalan? Yung payak, pag payak sa English, ito yung tinatawag natin na simple sentence. Ano yung definition natin ng simple sentence? Ibig sabihin, okay, the sentence expresses only one complete thought. Maraming klase ng payak, di ba? Merong isang simuno at isang panaguri. Halimbawa, okay, paano yun? Pag isang simuno at isang panaguri, ang bata ay naglaro. Simuno, bata. Panaguri, naglaro. Pwede din siyang isang simuno, dalawang panaguri. Ang bata ay naglaro at umuwi. Dalawa na. Okay, naglaro at umuwi. Dalawang panaguri, isa lang ang simuno. Pwede rin dalawa ang simuno, isang panaguri. Ang bata at ang kanyang ama ay naglaro. Pwede din, dalawang simuno, dalawang panaguri. Ang bata at ang kanyang ama ay naglaro at umuwi. Okay. So, yun yung mga uri ng payak na pangungusap. Okay, pagtambalan, it expresses two complete thoughts. Okay? Ang bata ay naglaro at ang tatay ay nagalit. Ayun, dalawa na yon. Ang bata ay naglaro at ang tatay ay nagalit. So, dalawa ng sentence yun. Sentence yun, pinag-combine natin using at. So, that's what we call as compound sentence. Marami pa yun eh. Meron pa tayong tinatawag na complex, compound, complex sentence. So, yun yung payak at tambalan. Next, ito ang pag-aaral ng makabuluhang tunog ng isang wika, phonolohiya, morpolohiya, syntax, at palabuan. Ano ito? Yes, phonology yan. Okay, phonolohiya. Next, number 21. Isang awiting bayan na tungkol sa pakikipagkaibigan. Anong awiting bayan na tungkol sa pakikipagkaibigan? Sa Lagintok. Okay. Ano ba iba? Sambotani, Daileng. Ano alam nyo dyan? Ano yun dito ang alam ninyo na uri ng mga awiting bayan? Madami kasi mga iba-ibang rehiyon sa Pilipinas. May ano yung uyayi? Ano yung uyayi? Anong klaseng awitin ng uyayi? Pag uyayi, yes, lalabay, paghele, pagpatulog ng bata. Okay, yung dalit o himno or himno. Okay, sa mga Bisaya, ito yung mga awit sa mga Diyos-Diyosan, mga santo. Pagdungaw, awit sa patay o pagdadalamhati ng mga Ilocano. Dungaw, Ilocano naman yon. Pagrawit-dawit, ito ay awit ng mga lasing. Ayan. Sige, my day, awit ng lasing. Sambutani, awit ng pagtatagumpay. Yung sambutani kanina. Pagmaluway, awit ng sama-samang paggawa. Kutang-kutang, awiting panlansangan. Pananapatan, ayan, harana. Pag di ba sinabi sa mga Tagalog, may nananapatan. Ibig sabihin, may nanghaharana. Balitaw, panghaharana naman yon sa mga Bisaya. At pangangaluluwa, awit sa araw ng mga patay ng mga Tagalog. Di ba may ganun pang, pero nabura na din eh. Di ba, kung may caroling kung may caroling kapag Christmas season, dati, meron ding caroling kapag bisperas ng November 1, di ba? Pag sinabi nila, may nangangaluluwa. Ibig sabihin, parang nangangaroling. Pero ang kanta nila, pangangaluluwa. Next. Siya ay si Dolores Manapat. Sino ang gumamit ng panulat na Dolores Manapat? A. Graciano Lopez Haninaba, M.V.M. Gonzalez, Andres Bonifacio, or Marcelo H. Del Pilar? Okay. Correct answer is letter D. Etong si Marcelo H. Del Pilar, ang dami niyang ginamit na pen names na pseudonym. Ano pa yung ibang mga pen names ni Marcelo H. Del Pilar? Marami yan eh. Isa-isahin natin mamaya. Okay. Okay, I want you to identify kung ano yung mga pen names na ginamit ng mga to. Si Andres Bonifacio, anong pen names ang ginamit ni Andres Bonifacio? Ano bang pen names ginamit ni Andres Bonifacio? Bigyan nyo ako na isa. Agapito Bagong Bayan. Okay? Okay, ginamit niya yon. Ginamit din niya yung May Pag-asa. Ayan, tama, Ma'am Ruvelin. Si Felipe Calderon. Anong pen name ang ginamit ni Felipe Calderon? Anong pen name? Okay, gumamit siya ng Simon at Elias. Okay, hango sa mga nobela ni Jose Rizal. Si Jose Corazon de Jesus. Alam niyo yan. Anong ginamit na pen name ni Jose Corazon de Jesus? Okay, gumamit siya ng huseng batute. Orange? Talaga ba? Etong Jose de la Cruz. Huseng sisi, huseng batute. Mali nang tayong orange. Okay, autocorrect. Oh, si Jose de la Cruz, anong ginamit niya? Huseng sisi. Okay, next. Si Marcelo H. Pilar, aside from Dolores Manapat, gumamit din siya. Ayan, dami. Plaridel, ano pa? Piping Dilat, Siling Labuyo. Okay, ano pa? M. Dati. Ayan. D.M. Caliero. Patos, Carmelo. Ayan. Dami niyang ginamit na pen name. Si Severino de las Alas. Severino de las Alas, mas kilala sa panulat na di kilala. Ayan. Mas kilala siya sa di kilala. Tandaan niya si Severino de las Alas. Okay, what else? Si Epifanio de los Santos. Si Epifanio de los Santos ay gumamit ng G. Solon. Ayan, ang ginamit niya. How about Valeriano Hernandez Peña? Si Valeriano Hernandez Peña. Anong ginamit niya? Okay, ang dami. Gumamit siya ng ahas na tulog. Yes. Anong damulag, dating alba, isang dukha, kalampag, kintin, kulirat. Yun. Ang dami niyang pen names. Okay, familiarize yourself with the different pen names. Sigurado may isang, hindi ko alam kung sino nang pipiliin nila, pero isang pen name may lalabas dyan sa exam. Okay? Okay, bakit nabalo? Okay, naulit. Okay, next. Ilang titik ang hiniram ng alpabetong Filipino mula sa alpabetong Ingles? Ilan? Ano ba yung mga hiram natin dyan? Letter C. Ano pa? F. Ano pa? J. Q. Ilan yon? Lahat-lahat, 7. Letter B, 7. Okay, and last one for Filipino. Ano ang tawag sa mga titik batay sa bigkas ng Ingles? Okay. A. Alivata, social or baybayin. B. Alpabetong Filipino. C. Alpabetong Romano. D. Alpabetong Filipino. Anong tawag sa mga titik batay sa bigkas ng Ingles? Ang tawag natin doon ay hindi. Letter C, alpabetong Romano. Okay? Let me see your scores. Filipino yan. May naka-perfect ba? Oy, galing ni Sir Deo. 24 ulit. Out of 25. How about the others? (19 over 25). Yung iba, 18. Parang mas magagaling kayo. Ay, galing ah. Sino yung sa kawayan? Kanina pa yon 23. Magkataas yung score. Over 25. Parang mas magagaling kayo sa science, no? Okay. So, all in all, we have 75 items. We will have some more. Pero I'll give you muna a break. You can have your restroom break, 10 minutes. Mga kailangan mag-restroom, uminom ng tubig. You can do that. You have 10 minutes to do that. May math, wala. Pagsasama-samahin natin ulit, English, Science, and Filipino. Si ano ang nag-review niyo sa math eh? Sir Thomas Jefferson yata. Okay? Buti wala. Alright, 10-minute break. let's start the fourth and final part of our review. You don't need to answer pen and paper. Direct na tayo magsasagot. Okay, and this is combined English, science, and Filipino. So let's start with an activity. I'll be showing you pictures, and I want you to guess the hidden name or the hidden name of a person that is significant in the field of English literature. Okay, let's start with this one. It's not, bakit ayaw? Ayaw na naman. Okay na kanina ya. Why? It's not working. Sir Deo, please give me access to share screen again. I had to reconnect. Nagpo-pause ulit. Okay na kanina. Yes. No, naka-keynote. Literature. The golden age of English literature. Bakit? It is during the reign of Queen Elizabeth that literature flourished because she encouraged scholarship, okay, and learning. Next, what's the hidden name? What's the hidden name? Okay, ang bilis. Okay, very good, Sir Deo. Ayan, Sir Paul Dinsey. Right, William Shakespeare. You have William, Shake, and then Speare. So William Shakespeare is the greatest Elizabethan and the greatest English playwright. He had written 37 plays, 154 sonnets, and 2 narrative poems. Okay, next. What's the answer? Ano?
Christopher Marlowe.
Very good. Christopher Marlowe. Christopher Marlowe. Another notable playwright during the Elizabethan period. Ano yung mga sinulat ni Christopher Marlowe? We have yung mga tragedy of Dr. Faustus, The Jew of Malta, yung mga ganong klaseng works. And Christopher Marlowe died early in his life. It could have been greater kung humaba pa siguro yung buhay ni Christopher Marlowe. Alright, wala na pala. Yun na yung last one. Ben Jonson. Nawala yung picture ni Ben Jonson. But Ben Jonson is another notable playwright during the Elizabethan period. Kung si William Shakespeare yung number 1, next to him is Ben Jonson. Okay, now let us answer English items first. Which of these group of capital words do not belong to the same sound? Hindi ko babasahin because you'll have an idea. Which of these group of capital words do not belong to the same sound? Alin daw ang naiibang sound? Correct answer is letter Ang galing. Bakit letter C ang tamang sagot? Ma'am Mirasol, Ma'am Alisa, you're right. Letter C. Bakit siya naiiba? Bakit siya naiiba? Why is letter C the correct answer? Demonstrative, no. With reference to pronunciation, phonology, phonetics. Why is letter C do not belong to the same sound? The reason for that is all the letter S, no S, all the letter S in letter A, B, and D are not pronounced as S, but pronounced as Z. For example, letter A, it's those. Letter B, this. Letter D, these. But letter C is that's. That's. S is pronounced as it is. But in the other options, the S was pronounced as letter Z. Bakit? Anong bang explanation nun? Okay, most of the time, the letter S in words are not pronounced as it is. For many instances, the letter S is pronounced as Z. For example, in cases that the letter S is in between two vowels, hindi siya pinupronounce as S. It will be pronounced as Z. For example, instead of saying acquisition, mali. Acquisition. Instead of saying busy, it should be busy. Cousin should be cousin. Ano pa? Dessert. Easy. Incisor. Liaison. Music. Poison. Present. President. Or president. Prison. Reason. Visit. Hindi yun dahil inaartihan lang nung nagpo-pronounce. But that's the rule in it. That's the correct pronunciation in it. What else? At the end of words, we commonly add S to signify that it is in the singular present tense. We also add S if it's possessive. We also add S in the end if it's plural. Okay. And most of the time, the letter S at the end of the word is pronounced as Z. Nagiging letter S lang siya kapag ang letter before the S is, or the sound before the S is a voiceless sound. For example, yung letter F, okay, di ba? And the voiceless TH. Kapag ang S ay kasunod ng mga sounds na yon, letter S siya. But in all the other word endings ng letter S, it's pronounced as Z. For example, kanina, that's. Diba? Bakit siya S? Kasi the sound, yung letter T before the S is voiceless. Okay, what else? Ito, antics. Diba? Bago yung letter S, it's a cake. Oh, voiceless siya. Bishops, S din. Creates, directs, engulfs, gets, kicks, laughs, monoliths, pats, traps, unearths. So, the voiceless sound, the S after a voiceless sound would be pronounced as S. But in all the other endings, S should be pronounced as Z. For example, say ages. Hindi siya ages. Ages. What else? Bathes, buzzes, coaches, duties, frogs, Georginas, holds, judges, marshes, numerals, Peters, palms, runs, serves. Okay? Yun talaga yung rule doon. Hindi lang inaartehan natin, gawin natin Z yung dulo. But that's how it is pronounced according to the International Phonetic Alphabet. So letter C is the correct answer. Okay, number 2. Teachers allow students to explain their answers in dialects. This is an approach on A, multilingual level, B, bilingual level, C, dialectic level, or D, monolingual level. Teachers allow students to explain their answers in dialects. This is an approach on multilingual ba, bilingual, dialectic, or monolingual. What's your answer? Answer in the chat box. Sagot na. Huwag na magsagot sa paper. What's the correct answer? Kapag ang teachers, they allow students to answer in their dialects, the correct answer is dialectic level. Okay, dialect, yung keyword natin. Dialectic level. Okay. Next, question number 20. Yung iba, magsagot naman. Ang dami natin, 64. Okay. Yung mga nasa CPSU, nag-raise sila ng nag-raise. Hindi ko nakikita. Okay din. Sige. Next, number 3. In English verse, a poetic foot having one stressed syllable followed by one unstressed syllable is, anong tawag natin doon? Trochaic, B, iambic, C, dactylic, D, anapestic. In English verse, a poetic foot having one stressed syllable followed by one unstressed syllable is called trochaic or trochaic. Iambic, dactylic, the anapestic. What's the correct answer? A pair of one stressed and unstressed syllable, di ba? Ano yon? Yun yung ginagamit natin kapag nagsusulat tayo ng sonnets. Di ba? 14 iambic pentameter. Okay? One pair of unstressed and stressed syllable. Iam yon. For example, let's look at this. Sonnet 18. Okay. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Bakit siya tinawag na iambic pentameter? Kasi in one line, there are 5 iams. Okay? In one foot, there are 5. Kaya tawag niya dati iambic pentameter. Sa bawat line, there are 5 iams. One iam is equivalent to one pair of stressed and unstressed syllable. Tingnan natin, di ba? Shall I, saan yung stress? Doon sa I. Saan tumaas? Shall I, one iam. Di ba? Bumaba ulit. Compare, 2 iam. The 2, 3 iam. Some, that is the 4th iam. Mer's day. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Kaya nga yung mga mga sonnets para daw yung nagta-tap dance, yung tak, 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 tak. Kasi ganon, yung pagpili ng words, hindi lang dahil, ay gusto ko yung word na to. Hindi lang dahil, it would sound good, may rhyming. Okay? Yung sequence ng word, inaayos nila yon. Stress and stress, stress and stress, stress and stress. Kaya hindi madaling subulat ng sonnets. Okay. So, ang tawag natin dyan, one pair of stress and unstressed syllable, iambic. Iambic. Kaya ang sonnet, 14 yan, iambic pentameter. Next, each of the members of the club blank a duty to perform. A has, B have, C has been, D have been. Each of the members of the club blank a duty to perform. A has, he have, C has been, D have been. Okay. By this time, dapat hindi na kayo nalilito sa paggamit ng has and have. Kasi, just that one rule in grammar, pag hindi clear sa inyo, maaari kayong maraming masagot na incorrect. Bakit? Ang daming sentences, identifying sentence error, fill in the blank, ayan. What is the subject? What's the subject? Each of the members of the club. Hindi club. Ang subject natin dito ay yung indefinite pronoun na each. Diba? Each. Parang sinabi natin ditong one of the members of the club. Hindi lahat ng member subject. Isa lang sa kanila. O katulad ng sinabi kong example kanina, a basket of oranges. Yung basket lang. Okay? Ano yung laman ng basket? Oranges. Pero a basket, isa pa din yung ating subject. So each of the members of the club, that's your noun phrase. Okay, prepositional phrase yung of the members of the club. But your subject is each. Ngayon, kung ang subject nyo ay singular, laging tatandaan, you use has. If your subject is plural, marami, you use have. If it's in the past tense, it doesn't matter kung singular or plural. If it's in the past, then the correct one to use is had. Okay? Has singular, have plural, had pag past tense, whether singular or plural. Okay. Next, number 5. She has to economize. The word economize means A, earn more money. B, put business. C, spend less. D, spend more. She has to economize. What does the word economize mean? Maraming mga vocabulary questions. Lagi niyong tatandaan, if you are to answer vocabulary question, okay, if you're not familiar with the word, base it in context at least. A, B, C, or D, correct answer is to economize, diba? Okay, economy and quality, diba? EQ sabi nila. Economize meaning spending less. Letter C. Number 5. How do you address a Christmas card where the husband is a doctor of philosophy and the wife is an attorney? Which is the right form? A, Dr. and Attorney Ben Marquez. B, Dr. Ben Marquez and Attorney Rose Reyes. Letter C, Dr. Reyes and Attorney Reyes. Letter D, Dr. and Mrs. Ben Reyes. If you are to send a Christmas card to a couple, Ma'am A. Narisma, yes? If you're to send a Christmas card to a couple wherein the husband is a doctor and the wife is a lawyer, how will you address them? Dr. and Attorney Ben Marquez, Dr. Ben Reyes and Attorney Rose Reyes, Dr. Reyes and Attorney Reyes, Dr. and Mrs. Ben Reyes. Okay, let's check. Correct answer is letter B. Kasi magkaiba sila ng designation. Better yet, provide the full details. Okay, kailan ba natin, when we are writing a formal envelope, kailan ba natin gagamitin yung Mr. and Mrs. ganyan? Use Mr. and Mrs. Okay, his first name, last name for a traditional approach. Yung traditional approach. For example, Mr. and Mrs. Robert Gaiman. Hindi mo na laging, uy, bakit Mrs. Robert? Di ba si Mrs. babae yun? Hindi. For the traditional approach, okay, Mr. and Miss, the name ng lalaki, John Steele. Mr. and Mrs. Bill Oster. So that is the traditional approach. Or you put just the titles and the couple's last name for a bold look. For example, if you don't want to write the couple's first names, their titles and family names, you can put Miss Galman or Mr. and Mrs. Cameron. Okay. Miss Galman or Mr. and Miss Galman or Mr. and Mrs. Cameron. Kung ayaw nyo na ilagay yung first name ng lalaki. This is a good option if you're addressing lots of envelopes and would like to save a little time. So advisable team, acceptable, kahit hindi ilagay yung first name ng lalaki. Mr. and, di ba yun naman yung commonly ginagawa natin? Mr. and Mrs. Reyes. Ganyan. Write the person's official title before their name if applicable. If either person or both people are in the military, have a graduate degree, or are members of the clergy, write their title before listing their first or last name. Ito yung ginamit natin kanina na reference. You might write Dr. Matt Rivers and Dr. Megan Merritt. Okay? You may, the Reverend and Mrs. Jordan. Okay. Ganon. Include first names if you're writing a last name with a hyphen. If one of the person's married name is hyphenated, list each person's first and last name. For example, Mr. Matthew Vargas and Miss Sofia Thousand Vargas. Kasi di ba may mga ganon, yung may mga tao na gusto pa nilang ginagamit sa the law allows it. The law allows it na lalagay pa din nila yung maiden name nila, kadugtong ng last name nila, hyphenate. So yon. That's the rule to follow. Number 7, you're writing to your superior. What complementary wording should be used? A, truly yours. B, yours truly. C, very truly yours. D, truly very yours. Writing, you're writing to your superior. Sa boss mo ikaw susulat. Kasi hindi pa, tayo kasi pare-pareho lang palagi. Sincerely, meron talagang tama na complementary clause. Okay? Anong tamang gamitin? Ito, we'll just pay attention na lang sa mga proper capitalization and punctuation. So, mali ang letter A kasi dapat capitalize ang first word. Yung T, dapat na-capitalize yon. Ang tamang sagot dito, mali. Gumalaw yung person. Ayan. Ang tamang sagot dito ay letter B. Yours truly. The first word should be capitalized. The second word should not be capitalized. Plus, it should have a comma after. So, mali na agad sa capitalization pa lang yung letter C, wala ding comma, then letter D. Ngayon, there are certain complementary clause that is advisable. Depende sa kung sino ang susulatan natin. Okay. For example, if you're writing to in a highly formal letter sa diplomatic or ecclesiastical person, let's say you're writing to the president, you're writing to you're writing to the pope, you're writing to a bishop. Ayan. Ang best complementary clause to use ay respectfully yours and then comma, or you can just use the word respectfully and then comma. What if you're writing to institutions, prestigious associations, government agencies? Ayan, yung mga superiors ninyo. Ayan. The best to use is very truly yours, comma, or yours truly. Okay. If you're writing in a less formal or general correspondence, or pareho lang kayo ng position, teacher kayo pareho, hindi mo naman siya superior, then you can use sincerely yours, or cordially. Kaso, Kaya minsan, lahat na ginamitan natin ng sincerely. Meron siyang level, okay, ng respect and meron siyang level ng formality. Ayan. Next, number 8. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. Express the philosophy of. Sino yon? A. Spencer. B. Eliot. C. Keats. D. Tennyson. In his writing, sino ang gumamit na to? A thing of beauty is a joy forever. Is that Spencer, Eliot, Keats, or Tennyson? What's your answer? Correct answer is John Keats. Si John Keats yan. Okay, ayan. Pakitaas yung letters ha, yung mga nagsasagot. Okay. Ano ibig sabihin nun? A thing of beauty is a joy forever. The phrase, a thing of beauty is a joy forever means a beautiful object, natural or artificial, makes a person happy for a long time, even if its beauty fades or put into different circumstances. It is always a source of enjoyment, happiness, pleasure for a person or a group of people. And that is a line by John Keats, used in his poem Endymion, written in 1888. That's why it's the correct answer. Who is America's greatest humorist? A. Benjamin Franklin. B. Washington Irving. C. Mark Twain. D. Samuel Clemens. Taas yung sagot. Who is the America's greatest humorist? Okay, letter up nga. A, B, C, or D. America's greatest humorist is letter Franklin ba yan? Irving, Mark Twain, Samuel Clemens. Isa lang yung dalawa na. Okay. Correct answer is Mark Twain. Okay, Mark Twain gave us, nasabi ko na to kanina, Huckleberry Finn, Connecticut Yankee, Life on Mississippi. Okay. Next. It's a Japanese poem with 17, cover. It's a Japanese poem with 17 syllables. The correct answer is, yes, letter C, haiku. A Japanese poem with 17 syllables. Next number. Ayan. A haiku is a Japanese poem with 3 lines. Okay, 5, 7, and 5 syllables. 5 syllables in the first line, 7 syllables in the second, and 5 syllables in the third, for a total of 17 syllables. What makes haiku unique from the other poem meter? It does not rhyme. It's about an aspect of nature or the seasons. It captures a moment in time. Next, a canto naman is a subdivision or part in a narrative or epic poem consisting of 5 or more lines, such as a stanza, which could also be a canto. The word canto originates from the Latin word cantus, which means song. Tanaga naman is the Filipino equivalent of the Japanese haiku. So, ang haiku sa Filipino literature ay tanaga. It's a poem consisting of 4 lines, with each line equally having 7 and 9 syllables. To compare, the Japanese haiku has 17 phonetic units divided into 3 phases of 5, 7, 5 units respectively. So this tanaga do not have titles, although the apparent theme is used to refer to it. Most are written in Tagalog, the basis of Filipino national language. Ang tangka means short song. It has 31 syllables and 5 lines long. Ayan. Ang common theme ng tangka, love, beauty of nature, and the passage of time. Ito yung example. Beautiful mountains, rivers, and cold, cold water. White cold snow on rocks. Trees over the place with frost. White sparkly snow everywhere. So that's an example of tangka. Okay, number 11. Who is the author of How My Brother Leon Brought Home a Wife? A. Manuel Argelia. B. Paz Marquez Benitez or Paz Benitez. C. Fernando Maramag. Or D. None of these. Who wrote How My Brother Leon Brought Home a Wife? Manuel Argelia, Paz Benitez, C. Fernando Maramag, D. None of these. Philippine literature. Tandaan niyo yan kasi yung How My Brother Brought Home a Wife, very popular yan. Correct answer is letter A, Manuel Argelia. Okay. Next, number 12. He is Edmond Rostan's famous character who is a poet and a soldier noted for his peculiar nose. Sino daw yon? Sino yung character sa story ni Edmond Rostand? Isang soldier at isang poet with a very peculiar nose. Is that Roxanne, Ichabod, Don Quixote, or Cyrano de Bergerac? Correct answer? Roxanne, Ichabod, Don Quixote, Cyrano de Bergerac. Correct answer is letter. It's letter D, Cyrano de Bergerac. So, the character in the most famous play of Edmond Rostand, written in 1897. The work is about Cyrano, a marvelous character based on a real person who is witty, passionate, and full of vitality. He is known for his big nose, which becomes a problem when he falls in love with his beautiful cousin, Roxanne. Reading the play or seeing the production fills the audience minds with iconic quotations. So, tandaan niyo yan, yung character na may malaking ilong. Cyrano de Bergerac. Next, number 13. If eyes are made for seeing, then beauty is its own excuse for being. This is taken from the poem A. The Bells, B. Don Juan, C. Sonnet, D. Rodora. If eyes are made for seeing, then beauty is its own excuse for being. Is taken from the poem The Bells, Don Juan, C. Sonnet, D. Rodora. Correct answer is A. Boards up. The correct answer is letter D, Rodora. What is this poem about? Simply, it's about the flower, yung flower na Rodora. Okay, this is written by Ralph Waldo Emerson. Imposible siyang The Bells by Edgar Allan Poe. Malayo. Because it talks about the different kinds of bells. So, Rodora, on being asked, when is the flower? Ayan. Okay, I'll provide you naman a copy of this. Sign nyo lang. Number 14. Neither the teacher nor the students present in the affairs. A. Were. B. Am. C. Was. D. Is. Neither the teacher nor the students blank present in the affairs. A. Were. B. Am. C. Was. D. Is. What's the correct answer? Ayan. Nakakalito kasi minsan kapag ginagamitan na ng indefinite pronoun. Yung either or, neither nor, o basta may word na or. Okay, tandaan ninyo, ano ang rule? Kapag nagko-quiz B, yung parang nagko-quiz B, yung mga, okay, ayan. Tandaan ninyo, kapag yung neither na yan, pag walang pagpipilian, for example, neither of the teachers or neither of the students was present in the affairs. Kapag yung word na neither alone, singular talaga yan. But if it's a compound subject, ibig sabihin, meron kayong dalawang pinagpipilian, Neither the teacher nor the students. Ano ang rule? Whichever is closer to the verb, yun ang ating gagamitin. Or whichever comes after the nor or the or would be our point of reference. O, ano ba yung pangalawa? Yung students. Students plural, kaya were. Pag pinagpalit natin yan, neither the students nor the teacher, mas malapit na si teacher sa verb, magiging was na yan. So for this sentence, the correct answers were. Tandaan nyo. Next, number 15. My concept of inner peace came from my mother's daily activities, which I now recall with fondness and awe. She was full-time housewife, wholly dependent on my father's monthly salary. How she made both ends meet, guided me in our studies, and did small acts of charity on the side was beyond me. The mother's financial resources are A, more than enough. B, miserable. C, abundant. D, limited. Okay. Based on context, my concept of inner peace came from my mother's daily activities, which I now recall with fondness and awe. She was full-time housewife, wholly dependent on my father's monthly salary. How she made both ends meet, guide us in our studies, and did small acts of charity on the side was beyond me. The mother's financial resources are, based on context, it is, yes, limited. Ayan, limited is the correct answer. Ano yung mga clue doon, di ba? Full-time housewife, wholly dependent on my father's salary, made both ends meet. So, pinagkakasya lang. Limited. Number 16. A story put together through exchange of letters is called blank literature. A, fiction. B, episodic. C, epistolary. D, classic. Again, a story put together through an exchange of letter is called literature. It's called blank literature. Fiction, episodic, epistolary, or classic. Correct answer is? Ayan, epistolary yan. Examples are yung very famous na Dracula by Bram Stoker. Yung story, it's narrated through exchange of letters. Okay, what else? Daddy Longlegs by Gene Webster in 1912. Ngayon, marami na tong variation kasi hindi na uso ngayon ang exchanges of letters. Ngayon, may tawag tayo din sa mga different or new literary genres. Diba, instead of letters, nakakabuo ng kwento ngayon through exchange of chats. Diba? Through exchange of, common yan ngayon sa Twitter, sa Facebook, yung mga long thread exchanges ng chats, mga screenshot ng chats, pero nagkukwento. Okay. A child discovered a new formula for, we're moving on to science. A child discovered a new formula for decreasing the population of ants. She submitted this research to a teacher who claimed the research as hers. The teacher, A, violated right to live within one's means. B, violated human rights. C, violated right to choose. Or D, violated the right to intellectual property. Again, a child discovered a new formula for decreasing the population of ants. She submitted this research to a teacher who claimed the research as hers. The teacher violated the right to live within one's means, violated human right, okay, violated the right to choose, or the right to intellectual property. May common yun, nangyayari yan. Pag sinabit ng bata, yun minsan ginagawa ng teacher, sinasabit niya naman sa iba, sa kanya nakapangalan. The correct answer here is violated the right to intellectual property. And isa pa, that's plagiarism. Okay, what is plagiarism? Okay, it is use of someone else's work or idea without permission or without giving credits. Okay, ano bang pinakaiba ng plagiarism tsaka intellectual property? Anyway, ang yung konsepto, pareho lang yan. But plagiarism is more of an ethical misconduct. Ibig sabihin, unethical, unprofessional. If you plagiarize, you don't give credit to the author, ganun din naman yung intellectual property. Kaso, pag plagiarism, it is an ethical misconduct. Makukulong ka ba kapag nag-plagiarize ka? Hindi. Plagiarism is not punishable by law. Diba? Sa dami ng mga nag-plagiarize, hindi naman nakukulong. Halimbawa, si Michelle Obama, plagiarize yung speech ni, baliktad. Yung speech ni Michelle Obama, plagiarize ni Melania Trump. Hindi naman nakulong si Melania Trump. Si Tito Soto, plagiarize niya yung speech ni JFK. Yung, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. Tinagalog lang niya. Hindi naman siya nakulong. Actually, siya pa nga yung author na tong isa sa mga authors ng intellectual property right. Saan pumapasok itong intellectual property right? Kailan ba nakukulong ang isang tao for using someone else's work or idea? Kapag ang isang work ay copyrighted, okay? In-apply ng patent rights ng may-ari at ginamit mo, halimbawa, yung mga textbook na yan, may copyright yan. Kapag nireproduce mo yan, okay, or nang wala kang permission, that's copyright infringement. Violation yan to a person's intellectual property right. Ano pa? Kaya diba sa Facebook, naka-copyright, na napuputol pag nagla-live ka or kahit anong video mo, gumamit ka ng songs na copyrighted, napuputol because that is violation to one's intellectual property. Ang plagiarism, anong punishment? Kung estudyante ka, pwede kang mabigyan ng mababang grade, pwede kang hindi makagraduate, pwedeng paulit sa yung ginawa mo, pwede kang mapahiya, pero hindi yan makukulong kapag hindi naman copyrighted yung yung ginamit. Number 18. Children in the mountain ranges are diagnosed as suffering from goiter. Determine the cause of such disease. A. Lack of iodine in food. B. Excess of iodine in diet. C. Excess of vitamins in diet. Or letter D. Lack of iron in diet. Children in the mountain ranges are diagnosed as suffering from goiter. Determine the cause of such disease. A. Lack of iodine in food. B. Excess of iodine in diet. C. Excess of vitamins in diet. Or letter D. Lack of iron in the diet. A, B, C, or D, your answer? Okay. Letter A, lack of iodine in food. I remember very well, isa to sa mga problema na inaddress ng Department of Health. Kasi nga, children are suffering from iodine deficiency. Kaya ginawa ng then Secretary of Department of Health ay yung pag-require na ang mga asin, di ba, ay lalagyan ng iodine. Kaya ngayon, ang mga asin na nabibili natin, iodized salt. Dati noon walang ganon. Elementary ako noon hindi required na with iodine ang mga asin. Rock salt, kung anong salt lang ginagamit sa pagluluto. But then, to remediate this problem, that time, si Secretary who once, di ba, very popular, si Secretary Juan Flavier back then. May kanta pa nga, iodized salt, mag-iodized salt tayo, yon. Kasi nga, ito yung problem sa mga bata. They are suffering from iodine deficiency. Yung goiter na sakit. Imagine, bata pa lang nagkaka-goiter na sa mga mountain ranges. Kaya ang mga salt, ni-required na i-fortified with iodine. So, ngayon, lahat ng bilhin natin, iodized salt na. Okay, most common signs of iodine deficiency. Ayan, fatigue, okay, madaling mapagod, unexpected weight gain, brain fog, or memory problem. Ang bata, pag lacking of iodine, mahirap mag-memorize. Depression, dry skin, cold hands and feet, thyroid problems or goiters, prostate sa matatanda, pregnancy problems, irregular menstrual cycle. So, importante ang iodine sa katawan. Next, number 19. The Filipino family believed that tuberculosis is inherited. In fact, the cause is traced to A, poor hygiene in coughing and spitting. B, spitting everywhere by active TB patients. C, lack of vitamin A, or D, lack of vitamin C. Again, the Filipino family believed that tuberculosis is inherited. In fact, the cause is traced to A, poor hygiene in coughing and spitting. B, spitting everywhere by active TB patients. C, lack of vitamin A. D, lack of vitamin C. Answer. Sagot. Okay. What's the answer? Ano ba ang root cause or main cause ng TB? Yung pag-spit everywhere, nahawa ka kasi may duran, may TB, hindi na yung main cause nun. Ang main cause ng tuberculosis ay lack of vitamin C. Okay, ano yun? Say, tuberculosis, ayan. It's caused by a pathogen, Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Ano mga symptoms na may TB ka? Loss of appetite, chest pain, weakness, hemoptysis, increased sweating, weight loss, heat, cough. Ayan. How do we prevent TB or tuberculosis? Through vaccination, healthy diet, vitamins, fluorography, exude contact with sick people. Ayan. And to give up smoking. Number 20. Rural health centers conduct home visitation. Ang correct answer is letter D, lack of vitamin C. Letter D. Rural health centers conduct home visitation. Babies are vaccinated early to avoid pulmonary tuberculosis. However, what is the World Health Organization's findings? A, most fathers spit blood and infect babies. Ganun ba yon? D, babies are immune from TB. C, most children suffer from pulmonary complex. D, mothers sick of TB transmit their diseases by breastfeeding. Again, rural health centers conduct home visitations. Babies are vaccinated early to avoid pulmonary tuberculosis. However, what is the World Health Organization's findings? A, most fathers spit blood and infect babies. B, babies are immune from TB. C, most children suffer from pulmonary complex. Or letter D, mothers sick with TB transmit their disease by breastfeeding. Okay. Correct answer is yes, letter D. Nagba-vaccinate sila anti-tuberculosis. Okay. Only to find out na nakuha pala ng mga baby yon sa nanay nila mismo through breastfeeding. Okay. Opening of cement plants requires getting a DNR clearance. Which of these clearances are required kapag kukuha ka ng DNR clearance sa pag-open ng cement plants? A, air pollution clearance. B, waste disposal. C, BIR. D, environmental clearance. If you gusto mo magpatayo ng planta, kukuha ka ng clearance from Department of Environment and Natural Resources. Alin ditong clearance ang required? Alin sa mga clearance na itong required? Air pollution clearance, waste disposal, BIR clearance, environmental clearance. Correct answer is letter D, ECC or environmental clearance. Okay. When do doctors declare dengue fever as an epidemic? A, when 2 are hospitalized from the neighborhood. B, when the population of patients reach at least 15% of the population. C, when every household of fine houses are sick with high fever. Kapag yung mayayaman, nagkakasakit na din. Okay. Letter D, when everyone is suffering from cold. Epidemic kapag lahat na may sakit. When do we declare epidemic? Correct answer is, epidemic is declared, letter B, kapag 15% na ng population, at least 15% of population, okay, nagkakasakit na, that's an epidemic. Kailan naman tayo magdi-declare ng pandemic? Okay, going back to epidemic is an outbreak of disease that affects many in a population and begins to spread rapidly. An outbreak of disease is considered an epidemic. It affects a certain number of people within a short period of time, typically 2 weeks. Pandemic sa COVID, yeah, kasi dati ang COVID, it started as epidemic kasi yung naging mabilis yung widespread niya. Kasi dalawa yung kino-consider natin to consider it an epidemic or a pandemic. Unang-una, yung number of people infected, nagkakasakit. Pangalawa, gaano kabilis yung transmission. Pandemic is a larger epidemic. A pandemic covers several countries or spreads from one continent to another. Okay, kapag ang affected na more than one country, okay, or it's spreading from one continent to another, dinideclare na yun na pandemic. In pandemic outbreaks, the number of people affected or killed doesn't matter as much as the rate of spread and how far it has spread. Okay. So ang mas consideration for declaring pandemic talaga gaano kabilis mag-spread yung sakit. Okay, at yung sakop hanggang saan siya nakakarating na lugar, yon, pandemic. Next, number 23. An approach to lessen vehicular air pollution is A, revenue 20 or more year-old vehicles in the street. B, ban diesel using cars on the highway. C, ask pedestrians to use bicycles. D, utilizing the MRT and LRT. One approach to lessen vehicular air pollution is revenue 20 or more year-old vehicles in the streets. B, ban diesel using cars on the highway. C, ask pedestrians to use bicycles. Or D, utilizing the MRT and LRT. Correct answer is A, ban diesel using cars on the highway. Bakit hindi letter C? Bakit hindi naman na nagkukos ng pollution ang pedestrian Naglalakad na nga sila Pagbabikin pa natin. Okay, utilizing MRT and LRT. Okay, could cause air pollution din. Revenue 20 or more, maraming magagalit. Okay, number 24. The Philippines counts more than 7,113 islands. Why are some islands not fully identified? A, some are not inhabited. B, some submerge after a volcanic eruption. C, some are not yet fully surveyed. D, some are only seen during low tides. The Philippines counts more than 7,113 islands. Well, 7,100 plus yan. Why are some islands are not fully identified? Some are not inhabited. Kapag walang nakatira, hindi ma-identify. B, some submerge after a volcanic eruption. Yun ba yun? C, some have not yet been surveyed. Hindi pa kasi nararating. Or D, some are only seen during low tides. Correct answer is letter D. Di ba? Yan yung tanong sa Miss Universe kay Charlene Gonzalez. How many islands are there in the Philippines? Tapos sumagot siya, high tide or low tide? Kasi nga naman, pag low tide, maraming nakikita. Pag nag-high tide, natatakban na ibang islands. Okay. Number 25. The Weather Bureau gave this warning during thunderstorm. Which comes first? A, lightning flashes first. B, lightning and thunder are simultaneous. C, thunder sounds spread fast. D, thunder follows all lightnings. The Weather Bureau gave this warning during the thunderstorm. Which comes first? A, lightning flashes first. B, lightning and thunder are simultaneous. Okay. C, thunder sounds spread fast. D, thunder follows all lightnings. Correct answer is letter A. Bakit? Bakit lightning flashes first? Kasi, warning. Okay, ano pa? Ano ba nauna? Lightning or thunder? Yes, that's it. Light travels faster than sounds. Kaya lagi nauuna ang lightning. Next, number 26. Children are fond of pets. One time, a pet dog growled and bit a child. How will the owner handle the situation? A. Allow the dog to be observed for 10 to 18 days before giving anti-rabies injection. B. Use the dog's brain to treat the wound. Uy, may mga matatanda, di ba noon? Kaya, tawag dito, kaya sabi nila, putulin yung pugutan ng ulo yung aso, ganon. C. Kill the dog. Letter D. Tie the dog and feed it regularly. Okay. Yung iba, pag nakakagat ang aso, sabi, yun nga, patayin, pupugutin yung ulo. It's a no. Huwag papatayin yung dog. Kasi, ang importante, maobserbahan yung dog. Kung mauulo, ganon. Kasi ibig sabihin, may rabies. So, dapat allow the dog to be observed for 10 to 18 days before giving anti-rabies injection. Okay, next, number 27. The theory on the effective use... Saglit lang po. Okay, Sir Deo. The theory on the effective use of cellular phones is credited to... Sino ba? Smart, McDonald's, Bell, or PLDT? The theory on the effective use of cellular phones is credited to A. Smart, B. McDonald, C. Bell, or letter D. PLDT. Anong sagot? Ang si PLDT, bakit? Yung iba sumagot ng Bell. Baka naalala niyo si Alexander Graham Bell. Telephone naman yon. Cellular phone, bakit PLDT? Ito yung history. Mobile phone industry started to emerge in the Philippines during the 1990s. PhilTel established the Philippine Long Distance Company. Okay, now we know PLDT provides the first cellular phone service in the country in 1991. It operated under the Mobiline brand using analog technology. Natatandaan niyo ba yung mga first na cellular phones? Sobrang laki. Parang pangkayod ng Okay. Yes. Yung pangkayod ng parang ng ice, sobrang laki. And for you to bring the cell phone before ng Mobiline na yan, isang bag talaga yung dala mo. And then, Islacom introduced the first digital mobile communication service in the Philippines using GSM. Yung sabi lang galing sa magnanakaw. Global System for Mobile Communication. Yan yung the antenna pa before. World Standard Digital Technology in 1994. Now, Globe joined the mobile phone industry in 1994. 4 years later pa lang nag-join ang Globe. And pioneered prepaid and MSS services. Both Islacom and Globe have agreed to combine business operations for quite some time. Globe acquired the 100% ownership of Islacom in 2001. But it's PLDT. Okay, yeah, yung phone booth. Yeah, but it's PLDT who started it in the Philippines. Number 28. How did the explorers who rode up to the moon manage to survive? A. Food in jelly form. B. Food in capsule form. C. Food in biscuit form. D. Food through liquid form. How did the explorers who rode up to the moon manage to survive? A. food in jelly form. B, food in capsule form. C, food in biscuit form. Or letter D, food through liquid form. Correct answer? Pwede ba yon? Food in liquid form? Diba? Food in capsule form. Okay, yung capsule lang yun pero complete meal na para sa mga astronauts. Diba ganun ang pagkain nila? Next, number 29. Volcanic eruptions cause evacuees to be insecure. Choose the situation reflecting the situation. A, ash falls are blessing for fertility of soil. B, the lava attracted tourists. C, government aid was immediate and flowing. D, crops covered by lava will affect livelihood and earning. Again, volcanic eruptions cause evacuees to be insecure. Choose a situation reflecting the situation. A, ash falls are blessings for fertility of soil. The lava attracted tourists. C, government aid was immediate and flowing. D, crops covered by lava will affect livelihood and earning. Okay, syempre, pag natabunan ng lava yan, yung mga taniman, hindi din matataniman. What else? Okay, yung mga, ayan. Kapag ganun nangyari, bakit nagiging insecure? That's their cause of livelihood. Mawawalan na sila, baka wala na silang kabuhayan na babalikan. That makes volcanic eruptions, okay, make the evacuees feel worried or insecure. Number 30. There are several advertisements that encourage people to take this supplement so that they can grow 3 to 5 inches more after the age of 20. Letter A. This is not possible because there is a definite pattern of growth of bones and muscles. Letter B. This is true because the AD would not have been allowed, or the advertisement would not have been allowed. Letter C, this is not true because there is no specific individuals mentioned. Letter D, this is true because of the protein content. There are several advertisements that encourage people to take this supplement so that they can grow 3 to 5 inches after the age of 20. A, this is not possible because there is a definite pattern of growth of bones and muscles. B, this is true because the ad or the advertisement would not have been allowed. Letter C, this is not true because there are no specific individuals mentioned. Ibig sabihin, wala bang ginamit na testimonial or meron bang nag-certify? Ganun ba yan? Letter D, this is true because of the protein content. Okay. Ano ang tamang sagot? Kapag meron kayo napapanood na ads sa TV, nakakatangkad, hindi man food supplements, yung mga sinusuot mga sinusuot sa katawan, ganyan. Tapos may nakikita kayo sa Lazada, sa Shopee. Maniniwala ba kayo? Correct answer is letter A. This is not possible. Kasi there is a definite pattern of growth. Ang tao, kapag na-reach na natin yung 18, well, minsan mag-extend pa 19, ganyan. Pero after 20, kung ano yung bone structure natin, yun na yun. Yung na-reach na natin yung total development ng bones natin. Not really muscles kasi muscles naman, pwedeng na-develop. Pero there really is a pattern for growth. Kaso yung bone natin, yun na yun kapag na-reach natin yung 20. Yung iba, hindi tumatangkad, lumiliit eh. Kapag nga tumatanda, di ba, nagkaka-osteoporosis, nag-stoop yung natin, yung spine natin. Pero wag maniwala sa mga supplements or ano mga ina-advertise that you can get taller after age of 20. Sabihin nyo, bakit po pina-allow sa advertisement, sa TV, ina-allow sa sa market? Syempre, it's business. Basta, yeah, okay. But it's business. Ang pag-approve naman halimbawa ng mga Bureau of Food and Drugs, yung mga BFAD na yan, basta it doesn't contain ingredients that could harm the body. Okay. i-allow. Pwede naman it doesn't contain ingredients that harm the body, pero it doesn't mean it's effective too. Number 31. Famine in Africa found very many malnourished children. Several had poor teeth and sight. This is a sign of A, vitamin deficiency in vitamin A and D. B, deficiency in protein. C, deficiency in vitamin B. D, deficiency in iron. Famine in Africa found many malnourished children. Several had poor teeth and sight. This is a sign of A, deficiency in vitamin A and D. B, deficiency in protein. C, deficiency in vitamin B. Or letter D, deficiency in iron. Correct answer is letter A. Diba? Pag eyesight na yan. Tsaka, ayan, calcium, okay, vitamin D, poor teeth and eyesight. Letter A is the correct answer. Number 32. Why do nurses and doctors use gloves when injecting patients with AIDS? A, a prick of a needle from an AIDS patient is dangerous. B, AIDS can be cured by injections. C, AIDS is transmitted by touch. D, AIDS virus easily enter open wounds and pores. Okay. Why do nurses and doctors use gloves when injecting patients with AIDS? A, a prick of a needle from an AIDS patient is dangerous. B, AIDS can be cured by injections. C, AIDS is transmitted by touch. Letter D, AIDS virus easily enter open wounds and pores. Bakit daw? Yung virus ba? Okay. Hindi naman dahil it would open yung open wounds and pores ng ganun-ganut lang. But a prick of a needle, kasi AIDS can be transferred in two ways. Through blood transfusion, okay? Pag na-prick ka ng needle na ginamit sa may AIDS, ayan, can cause transmission. Or it can be transmitted through sexual intercourse. Etong AIDS is transmitted by touch, hindi naman. Kahit nga by kiss, won't get transmitted eh. Okay, bakit? Dati, that's a misconception eh. Noon nagkaroon ng stigma, nung na-discover tong sakit, nagkaroon ng stigma, hindi talaga, pinandidirihan talaga noon yung may AIDS, not even touch. But then, later on, it was discovered by scientists na hindi naman pala natatransmit or nahahawang AIDS sa paghawa. Actually, it's Princess Diana, di ba? Si Princess Diana, yung mother ni Prince, asawa ni Meghan Markle, yan. Prince Harry. Ayan. Siya ang unang nagpakita sa mundo na it's safe to touch people with AIDS nung kinamayan niya yung isang HIV patient. Okay, dahil doon, di ba, na pinandidirihan kasi, namulat ang mundo, ay hindi naman pala nakakahawa through touch ang AIDS. Kasi nga si Princess Diana na yun eh. Kinamayan yung may AIDS. Okay, so that's it. Number 33. The best source of perfume had been identified by several scientists. One of the most expensive source is A, shark skin. B, shark fins. C, ilang-ilang flower. D, shark oil. The best source of perfume had been identified by several scientists. One of the most expensive source is A, shark skin. B, shark fins. C, ilang-ilang flower. D, shark oil. What's the correct answer? Correct answer is yes, ilang-ilang flower. Okay, eto pa nga irony niyan eh. Yung mga effective na perfume brand na yan, yung mga expensive perfume brand na yan, mabinibili natin sa mga Dior, ganyan, mga galing sa ilang-ilang flower. yung ilang-ilang flower na yan, dito nila sa Philippines yan, ini-extract, kinukuha, dito nakatanim sa Pilipinas. Tapos, pag na-extract, dadalhin sa ibang bansa. Di ba? Mura lang dito yan, ilang-ilang flower, ganyan. Pagdala sa ibang bansa, edi ipoproseso na sa Paris, gagawin nilang mga expensive perfumes, babalik dito sa Pilipinas yung mga ilang-ilang na, yung mga in-extract nila from our ilang-ilang flower. Tapos bibili natin mga Filipinos na napakamamahal na pabango. Diba? Number 34. A patient underwent surgery. The anesthesia hardly had an immediate effect on him. Where was the case traced to his? A. Physical weakness. B. Being an alcoholic. C. Heredity. D. Being allergic. A patient underwent a surgery. The anesthesia hardly had an immediate effect on him. Where was the case traced? A. To his physical weakness. B. Being an alcoholic. C. Heredity. D. Being allergic. The correct answer is? The correct answer is letter? Yes, letter B. Being alcoholic. Bakit? Bakit nakaka-apekto yun? Bakit hindi tumatalab ang anesthesia? Hindi masyadong nag-take effect ang anesthesia if a person is alcoholic. Ito yung explanation. Alcohol use, especially the amount of alcohol you drink daily, can affect your surgery and recovery. Decreasing your use of alcohol or stopping altogether before surgery will help speed up your recovery and reduce your risk of developing complications post-operatively. It is very important to let your healthcare team know how much you drink daily so that they can better plan your care. Kaya 'di ba kapag ooperahan, tapos after inoperahan, ibinabawal ang pag-inom ng alak. Kaya hindi dahil sa liver, ganyan-ganyan. Ang main reason nun is that it would slow down the recovery and could affect nga yung surgery. Katulad yun, yung effect ng anesthesia. It interferes with anesthesia. If you are an alcoholic, you need higher dose of anesthesia during surgery. It interferes with specific medications causing an increase or decrease in how the medication works. This means you could require more or less for the medication to work. What else? Increased surgical recovery time requiring longer stay sa hospital. Delayed wound healing and surgical site infections. Increase in bleeding episodes requiring transfusion post-operatively. Ayan. Mas matindi daw ang pagdurugo ng mga operations, kaya pwede mag-recommend for blood transfusion ba. And increased risk of infection after surgery such as pneumonia, urinary tract infection, and sepsis. So masama talaga ang alcohol sa katawan. Ayan. Next, number 35. The carabao is the working animal of farmers. However, these herd were converted for meat purposes. How did the government respond to the lack of carabaos? A. Put up a carabao project in CLSU. B. Converted farms into subdivision and housing areas. C. Imported buffaloes from Australia. Letter D. Distributed tractors and other machinery. Number 35. The carabao is the working animal of farmers. However, these herd were covered for meat purposes. How did the government respond to the lack of carabaos? A. Put up a carabao project in CLSU. B. Converted farms into subdivision and housing areas. C. Imported buffaloes from Australia. D. Distributed tractors and other machinery. Anong ginawa ng gobyerno? Kasi nga, yun, nagkakabusan na din ang mga carabao. Unang-una, di ba, kumukonti na yung farmers. Tapos, yung carabao meat, okay, kinukonsider na din na pagkain ng iba. Okay, in certain parts of Luzon, okay, may mga kumakain talaga ng carabao meat. Mas mura siya kesa sa beef. Pero mas matigas nga lang siya as compared. Mas matagal papakuluan as compared to beef. Okay. Anong ginawa ng gobyerno? Konti ang carabao. Nag-import ba from Australia? Hindi. Konti na ang Carabao, o sige, tractors and machines na lang gamitin sa pagtatanim. Hindi yun ang ginawa nila. Okay, the correct answer is letter A. Put up a Carabao project in Central Luzon State University. That is in Science City of Muñoz, Nueva Ecija. That's where I graduated college. Ayan, sa state yun namin. Doon, sa northern part of the Philippines. There, you would also find the Philippine Caribou Center. Ayan, yung PCC, Philippine Caribou Center. Yun yung naging solution ng gobyerno in order to preserve yung population ng mga Caribou sa Philippines. Okay. Okay, may legal basis yon. Republic Act 7307, okay, which took effect on March 27, 1992. The Philippine Caribou Act of 1992 created the Philippine Caribou Center under the supervision and control of the Department of Agriculture. Okay, the Philippine Caribou Center, anong ginagawa niya? Conserves, propagates, and promotes the carabao as a source of draft animal power, meat, milk, and hide to benefit rural farmers. It is responsible for the promotion of profitable and sustainable carabao-based enterprises designed for improved farmers' income through carabao generic improvement, technology, development and dissemination, and ensuring better nutrition of rural farming communities. Ayan. Next, number 36. Filipino na tayo hanggang sa last number. Hindi dapat blank ang mga bagay na pinaghirapan ng iba. A. Agawin, agawan, kunin, kunan. Hindi dapat blank ang mga bagay na pinaghirapan ng iba. Agawin, agawan, kunin, o kunan. Answer. Hindi dapat agawin, hindi dapat agawan, hindi dapat kunin, o hindi dapat kunan. The correct answer is hindi dapat agawin. Okay. Bakit? Ano bang pinagkaiba ng agawin at ng agawan? Pag sinabi nating, according to its grammatical use, ano ba'y grammar sa Filipino? Balarila. Okay. Pag sinabi nating agawin, pangaagaw ng kung anong bagay mula sa isang taong kalimitang sinusundan ng pangalang mang-aagaw. Okay. Halimbawa, ibig agawin ni Aaron ang laruan ni Jim. Okay. Pag-agawan, pangaagaw ng kung anong bagay mula sa isang tao kalimitang sinusundan ng pangalang inagaw. Ibig agawan ng laruan ni Aaron si Jim. Okay? So, ang kasunod ng agawin, tao. Ang kasunod ng agawan, bagay. Okay. Next. 37. Nawala ang lahat kay Ryan nang mamatay ang kanyang magulang. Ano ibig sabihin ng nawala ang lahat? A. Naglubit ng buhangin. B. Pinagtampuhan ng langit at lupa. Anong pwedeng ipalit natin doon na idiomatikong pahayag? C. Nadulasang dila. D. Pinagtakluban ng langit at lupa. Nawala ang lahat. Anong pwede natin ipalit na idioma? Nawala ang lahat, naglubid ng buhangin. B. Pinagtampuhan ng langit at lupa. C. Nadulasang dila. D. Pinagtakluban ng langit at lupa. The correct answer is letter B. Pinagtakluban ng langit at lupa. Ayan. Ano yung naglubid ng buhangin? Ano yung naglulubid ng buhangin? Ano ibig sabihin nun? Ano ibig sabihin naglulubid ng buhangin? Yung idioma na yon. Pag naglulubid ng buhangin, yun. Malulubid nyo ba yung buhangin? Ibig sabihin naggagawa-gawa ng kwento. Hindi. Nagbigti na yon, nagpamara. Hindi. Naglubid ng buhangin, gumagawa ng kwento, nagsisinungaling. Ayan. Okay. Ano yung nadulasang dila? Nadulasang dila. Marites, oo. Nadulas, nasabi mga hindi dapat sabihin. Ayan. Okay, next. Ikaw naman kasi, nagpahuli ka pa. A, pagkontrol ng kilos ng iba. B, paglikha. C, pagbibigay ng impormasyon. D, pagbabahagi ng damdamin. Kapag ang isang tao ay nagsambit ng ganito, iyon ay pagpabulalas or pagpapahayag ng ano, pagkontrol ng kilos ng iba. D, paglikha. C, pagbibigay impormasyon, or D, pagbabahagi ng damdamin. Pag sinabi na ikaw naman kasi nagpahuli ka pa, okay, yun ay pagbabahagi ng damdamin. Ayan, may panghihinayang ko naman kasi nagpahuli ka pa. Hindi yan pagbibigay ng impormasyon, hindi yan paglikha. Or hindi mo naman kinukontrol yung kilos ng iba. Tapos na nga nagpahuli na nga. Okay, next. Number 39. Ito ay isang dulang nagsasalaysay ng buhay at kamatayan ng ating mahal na Poong Hesukristo at masasabing parang pasyong itinatanghal sa entablado. Ito ay ang A, moro-moro, B, karagatan, C, sinakulo, D, tuplong. Again, ito ay isang dulang nagsasalaysay ng buhay at kamatayan ng ating mahal na Poong Hesukristo at masasabing parang pasyong itinatanghal sa entablado. Yung pasyon, di ba? Kailan ba yun ginagawa? A, moro-moro, B, karagatan, C, sinakulo, D, tuplo. The correct answer is, di ba, pag Holy Week, dati, kasi nawala na din yung culture na to, sinakulo. Okay. Tatandaan ko noon, aside from Christmas season, masaya din ng Holy Week kasi may mga sinakulo talaga, yung gumagawa sila ng, nung parang, ano na yung tawag doon? Yung temporary tent or ganon, tapos libre pagkain, may pasyon, tapos may mga pagtatanghal, ayan, nawala na yun ngayon. Okay, number 40. Kami ay nakikipagsapalaran sa lungsod. A, ay, ano ang ayos ng pangusap? Kami ay nakikipagsapalaran sa lungsod. A, di karaniwan. B, walang paksa. C, karaniwan. D, walang pandiwa. Dapat alam niyo na to kasi binigay na to kanina sa test natin. Kami ay nakikipagsapalaran sa lungsod. A, di karaniwan. B, walang paksa. C, karaniwan. D, walang pandiwa. What's the correct answer? Correct answer ay, yes, di karaniwan, di ba? Prominente ang salitang ay kapag di karaniwan. Kami ay, ayon. Hindi naman siya walang paksa, may paksa Kami. Okay. May pandiwa naman, nakikipagsapalaran. So, di karaniwang anyo or ayos. Ayan, dalawang ayos ng pangusap, nabanggit ko na kanina. Ang karaniwang ayos ng pangusap at binubuan ng panaguri sa unahan at simuno sa hulihang bahagi. Okay. Baliktad kasi, diba, sa English, yung talagang sentence pattern, the subject always comes first. Yun yung usual na sentence patterns. Subject and then predicate. Sa Filipino kasi, it's the other way around. Yung karaniwang ayos, nauuna ang panaguri kesa sa simuno. Halimbawa, mababait ang aking mga kaibigan. Mababait ang aking mga kaibigan. Yung kaibigan na simuno nasa dulo, yung mababait, ay nasa huli. Okay. Pag sa English, ang normal na sentence pattern yan ay, my friends are kind. Diba? So, yun yung kaya nakakalito din sa iba. Ang karaniwan sa Filipino, inverted sentence sa English. Ang mapangusap na di karaniwang ayos ay binubuo ng simuno sa unahan at panaguri sa hulihang bahagi. Ang aking mga kaibigan ay mababait. There. Okay. Kakain kakain ko pa lamang. Anong aspekto ang pandiwa? A. Perpektibo. Kakain ako pa lamang. Kakain ako pa lamang. A. Perpektibo. B. Imperpektibo. C. Kontemplatibo. D. Pangkasalukuyan. Kakain ako pa lamang. Perpektibo, imperpektibo, kontemplatibo, or pangkasalukuyan. Ano bang aspekto ng pandiwa to? Kakain ako pa lamang. The correct answer is perpektibo. Ano ba yon? Okay? Ano yung perpektibo? Yung may in, kinain, kinanta. Imperpektibo, tinatawag, happening at present. Okay, kinakain, kinakanta. Kontemplatibo, tatawagin, kakainin, kakantahin. Perpektibong katatapos, katatawag, kakain, kakakain, kakatapos lang, kakakanta. Ayan. So, that's the answer. Next, number 42. Aling pangatnig ang ginagamit sa pagbibigay ng karagdagan? A. Hindi lang. B. Kundi. C. Kapag. D. At. Aling pangatnig, conjunction, ang ginagamit sa pagbibigay ng karagdagan? A. Hindi lang. B. Kundi. C. Kapag. D. At. Okay, correct answer is letter D, at. Number 43. Si Fernando Amorsolo ay binansagang A. Grand Old Man of Philippine Art. B. Greatest Old Man of Philippine Art. C. Grand Old Man of Philippine Painting. C. Greatest Old Man of Philippine Painting. Again, si Fernando Amorsolo ay binansagang A. Grand Old Man of Philippine Art. B. Greatest Old Man of Philippine Art. C. Grand Old Man of Philippine Painting. Or D. Greatest Man of Philippine Painting. Correct answer is letter A. Grand Old Man of Philippine Art. Magbigay nga kayo ng likha ni Fernando Amorsolo. Ano nilikha ni Fernando Amorsolo? Bakit ba ito, bakit ba siya binigyan ng ganyang titulo, Grand Old Man of Philippine Art? Ano mga likha ni Fernando Amorsolo? Anybody? Ano mga works? Magbigay nga ng isang work ni Fernando Amorsolo. Hindi naman sa kanya spolyarium eh. Kay Juan Luna yun, di ba? Kay Juan Luna spolyarium. Florante at Laura? Painting. Oh, planting rice. Ayan. Okay. Okay, number 43. Oh, hindi hindi ka Fernando Amorsolo yung Mona Lisa, ha? Sino nag-paint ng Mona Lisa? Si Leonardo da Vinci yun. Hindi, French yun. Ay, Italian yun, Italian. Leonardo da Vinci, Italian yun. Hindi si Fernando Amorsolo yun. Number 44. Ang mga sumusunod, maliban sa isa ay ang dami, inisa-isa natin yung mga pen name ni Marcelo H. Del Pilar kanina. Sagisag panulat. Alin dito ang hindi kanya? Pupdo, Kinting Kulirat, Dolores Manapat, o Piping Dilat? Correct answer Correct answer is letter Kinting Kulirat. Okay. Number 45. Kumatha ang makata ng tula. Ang kaganapan ng pandiwa sa pangusap na ito ay kumatha ang makata ng tula. A. Layon. B. Pangnakaraan. B. C. Tagaganap. D. Ganapan. Kanina diniscuss natin yung mga iba't ibang ganapan ng pandiwa. Kaganapan ng pandiwa. O ito ang sentence. Kumatha ang makata ng tula. Correct answer is tagaganap. Bakit tagaganap? Kaganapang tagaganap kapag ang kasunod ng pandiwa, ano ba'y pandiwa dito? Kumatha. Ano yung sumunod? Panlapi ng pandiwa. Maliban sa okay. Ang tatandaan natin, kapag ang kasunod ng pandiwa ay sumasagot sa tanong na sino? Sino ang kumatha? Ang makata. So, tagaganap. Okay? O, palitan nga natin. Gawin ninyo itong ganapan ng layon. Paano ang pagganapan ng kaganapang layon? Paglayon, palitan niyo itong sentence. Kumatha ang makata ng tula o tagaganap. Kasi ang kasunod ng pandiwa na kumatha, yung makata. Sinasagot, sinong kumatha? Ang makata. O, palitan niyo ng layon. Kapag layon, ang kasunod ng pandiwa ay sumasagot na tanong na ano. Pakipalitan nga yung sentence ng kaganapang layon. Ang dami niyan eh. Pero nakakalito pero simple lang. Palitan nyo nga yung sentence ng kaganapang layon. Ang pandiwa pa rin kumatha. Hindi. Ayun. Ang makata ay kumatha ng ano? Ng tula. Okay? Or kumatha ng tula ang makata. Tama. Paano naman kapag kaganapang-ganapan? Ang sinasagot ng pandiwa ay saan? O, paano? Saan naman? Kumatha o kailangan may lugar. Ang kasunod ng pandiwa. Kumatha wala na. Kumatha paano? Lagyan nyo ng lugar na kasunod. Saan kumatha? Kumatha sa ilalim ng puno ang makata ng isang tula. Okay? Paano kung kaganapang tagatanggap? O, sasagutin yung tanong na para kanino? Kumatha? Kailangan sagutin yung tanong na para kanino? Ang tula na kinatha ng makata. Hindi kinatha ng makata. Kinatha nino. So, dapat ang kasunod mismo yung para kanino. Paano yun? Ang makata ay kumatha para sa kanyang nobya. Okay? Ang makata ay kumatha para sa kanyang nobya. Ganon. Okay? Paano naman kapag pamamagitan ng kumatha sa pamamagitan ng pagsulat? Ganon. Okay. Next number, ayan. Ay, ito pala yun. Tagaganap o aktor, ang simuno o paksa ang gumaganap ng kilos. Ayan. Okay, anyway, na-explain ko na yan kanina. Okay. Ano ang pagkakasulat ng talang Ang Daigdig at Ako ni Alejandro G. Abadilla? Ano ang pagkakasulat ng talang Ang Daigdig at Ako ni Alejandro G. Abadilla? What's the answer? A. May sukat at tugma. B. May tugma at taludturan. C. Malayang taludturan. D. May sukat at taludturan. Ulit. Ano ang pagkakasulat ng talang Ang Daigdig at Ako ni Alejandro G. Abadilla? A. May sukat at tugma. B. May tugma at taludturan. C. May malayang taludturan. D. May sukat at taludturan. The correct answer is malayang taludturan. Free verse Ang Daigdig at Ako. Number 7. Sabi ni Hibalagtas, ang laki sa layaw karaniway hubad. Ito ay tulad ng A. Batang walang pakiramdam sa hirap. B. Batang di sumusunod sa magulang. C. Batang di natuto sa klase. D. Kawayan na mataas. 47. Sabi ni Balagtas, ang laki sa layaw karaniway hubad. Ito'y tulad ng batang walang pakiramdam sa hirap. Ma'am Karin, are you raising your hand? B. Batang di sumusunod sa magulang. C. Batang di natuto sa klase. O D. Kawayan na mataas. Correct answer? Yes. Letter A. Batang walang pakiramdam sa hirap. Okay, letter A. Batang walang pakiramdam sa hirap. Okay. So, as we end the session, we're a little early. Pero okay lang yan. I think we've had enough today. Okay. Saan na yun? Where's my other slide? Ayan. Do you have questions before we end the session? No ways, we still have a few minutes. May tanong ba? None. All right. As we end our session, ang dami na natin na cover. Ayan. I want to leave these words of Abigail Adams. Learning is not attained by chance. It must be sought for with ardor, attended to with diligence. Okay, remember that our goal is for you to pass your licensure examination. Not only to pass, but to ace it. For you to become, top-notcher, di ba? Yung goal natin. Okay, we have to remember that you will not pass the licensure exam by chance. Huwag tayong mag-subscribe to luck na, basta swertihan din yan. Okay, swertihan din yan yung pag-pass na gano'n. We will not subscribe to luck, but instead, we will sought for excellence through diligence. Meaning, yung ilan tayo dito? 43 na tira. When we started, almost 100. Okay, 90 plus this morning. Okay. So, kayo na mga natira, you have shown high level of diligence. Na from umagang hapon na nag-review, you stayed there, you tried your best to answer the questions. Kahit na yung iba, you have no idea on what they answered, but nandoon yung diligence and willingness to learn. And that's how we achieve excellence. And ang pagpasa ninyo sa licensure examination, you can only claim it if you know you have done your best. You have tried the hardest possible that you can try. Okay, so good luck to all of you. That's just, strive to win the goal. Okay, that's just general education in 3 subject areas. Marami pang subject matter to cover. I hope you continue preparing for your biggest battle in the near future, okay, with diligence. Okay? Ingat sa pag-uwi sa mga nasa school,